So we made it to episode 8, everyone.
We made it. Petra's favorite pencil. Well, fuck. It's written that way in the notes.
Listen,
it's Petra's pencil.
It's Petra's favorite pen. Listen, if it's in the notes, it's going to get said. All right, cool. Who do we have to thank / blame for this episode? Nicole Avinia and Tom Hanada. I think Tom is new.
Yeah, I haven't seen Tom before.
Never seen Tom, but we got Jem Gerard coming in as the director, whom I'm pretty sure
we've seen them before.
All right. So, overall, good job, guys. Very action-packed kind of episode, and let's dive into this. So, how does Petra's favorite pen start? With no pens and no Petra. We start this episode out in the snow, where Tally is reenacting The Sound of Music in ancient frozen Germany.
Thank you!
And it's like, it is the opening scene from Sound of Music. I wanted Tally to break out into song so bad, but she didn't. Instead, there's the song from, like, the music box playing creepily in the background while Tally's having this moment. And it's happening because she's on the quest to look into the past to find the steward that is extinct. And what I find interesting about this vision quest is that, like, Tally's, like, in the vision and like, more so than she's ever been before. Like, the first time we kind of saw her, like, seeing the future through her own eyes, like when she was with Abigail and Adil, but here she's, like, physically in it, but she's, like, not a part of the past. So it's, like, almost like an evolution of her powers to where she's not just, like, seeing from above, she's, like, in it, which is interesting. But Steward can't see Tally, and poor Tally's like, oh man. But anyway, so Tally's in the past, and she does find the steward, who is getting harassed by bigots because humans. And she follows the fleeing steward into this cave, who's trying to escape the bigots with swords who are after her. And they start cornering and threatening her, and one of them's like, I hear you sing a pretty song. And she's like, wanna hear, bitch? And, like, sings her song. And it sounds similar to, like, the voice box clip that Alder and Tally have been listening to, but it's, like, more powerful here. And it literally encases the bigots in ice tombs. And for some reason, it also encases the witch, which I couldn't quite understand. Like, I didn't know if she did this on purpose or she, like, couldn't really control the power once it got going and it, like, took over and entombed her by accident, sealing her in there. Not really sure. Not super addressed. I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
I have a lot of thoughts. Why did she run into the cave? Number one. What? You don't run into a cave when people are chasing you.
It's like running into the basement when someone's chasing you through your house. It's like, cool, you're more trapped.
Or upstairs.
Yeah, or upstairs. You're like, you are more trapped than you were a minute ago.
Horror movie rules state.
There's so much evidence in this episode that no one has ever seen a horror movie, mostly Tally, because she has moments later too where you're like, Tally.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. But to be fair, German ancient witch didn't have horror movies. She just had real life. So, like,
it's true.
She didn't know.
I mean, she was just hoping. Maybe she was hoping it had it out somewhere. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. Why is she, I guess, my only theory is that she may have the song, but she doesn't know how to use the song.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Froze her ass. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's just.
Blah, blah, blah.
Because, like, she didn't look super surprised or anything, but it was just like, it seemed like that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. So, either way, everyone in this cave gets frozen in ice and frozen in time. So, that's the main takeaway. Tally snaps out of this past vision and is back in the session house where she's having the vision, surrounded by the unit, Adil, and Alder, and, like, that voice box is playing in the background, which is how she, like, trailed the vision in the past or whatever. And then Tally tells everybody what happened, and she's like, oh, the witch is in northern Germany in an ice tomb. Like, cool. Now that's what I learned. And Alder's like, great, we're leaving at sunrise. Let's go, Tally. And then everybody gets into an argument about this plan. Abigail's like, it's too dangerous. And Raylla's like, the witch bomb isn't real, Tally. So, like, Raylla is also kind of gaslighting Tally about this vision. And Adil is a doormat in the corner, doesn't really have an opinion that matters. But regardless, Tally and Alder, true to their fashion, side with each other. And they're like, listen, the first song is super powerful. It's our Hail Mary. We have to go get this thing no matter what. We're doing it. And we have to trust the mother, trust Alder. It's going to be fine. So like reinforcing this thing that like basically they have two strategies to save the world. And it's get the first song and get Wade. And that's basically this whole episode. It's like, these are our Hail Marys. We need these two things or we're fucked. So here we are.
I would like to propose a drinking game for take a shot every time Alder says we must trust the mother.
Literally. I know. I do love in this, she like uses that line and everyone's like, I don't know about that. And she's like, trust me. And they're like, I really don't know about that. And I was like, listen, I know I did shady shit. I committed treason, but like, come on. Like,
no.
And the only one who's like, yes, is Tally. Tally's like, I know you're telling the truth now, Alder.
Yeah. The hills are alive with what the fuckery. Yeah,
literally. The hills are alive with Tally's lust for Alder, and that's the other plot of the whole episode.
So, okay, and on Raylla and the vision thing, I just think that Raylla's had enough of all of this, like, I don't know that I wouldn't say she's like, I see she has a better excuse for not wanting to believe that vision. Seeing as like it's like that she's gonna end the world and she's been in the fucking mycelium forever and hasn't had like a goddamn therapy session in 93 years.
I think she's in denial.
She's in
denial about this vision being real. And
but like, Abigail's not even in the vision though, so she doesn't get a pass.
No, Abigail is straight up gaslighting Tally about it. But like Raylla had gaslighting energy where she's like, Tally, don't worry about it. Like it's not gonna happen. And she's like, girl, like you were just living in a mushroom for like 8 episodes. Like don't tell me about what is and isn't possible. Like
also she's the one with the damn sight.
That's what I'm saying.
Trust it when you want to.
Trust Tally, guys. And Abigail mostly. But yeah, anyway, that I found that weird, but also it's Raylla who like again, at the beginning of the season, where it's like, we should change our faces. Abigail's like, absolutely not. And Raylla's like, yeah, we shouldn't. Like, siding with Abigail against Tally again. It's almost like we're back for the beginning of the season with, like, sides against Tally.
Well, to be fair, she never had any time to develop from that point. Abigail did.
That is touche. You are correct. Touche.
So, speaking of leaving and not leaving, whatever, Tally's gonna leave at sunrise with Alder. And listen, I'm like all for field trips with your boo, but I think Tally should have at least like taken somebody or something. I don't know. I just didn't.
Taking like, one of the militia people with her.
Somebody.
Take Adil. He's not doing anything.
Take Adil! Perfect!
He's literally not doing anything.
Okay. Important. See, we've solved it. Anyway, I think he would have come in handy with his
earthwork in this episode.
Yes, thank you.
Totally. Agreed.
So Tally's getting ready to go, and she makes Raylla promise not to use the witch bomb. So at least Raylla agrees to that.
She does.
Abigail would not have if she was in her position.
No.
Or she would have agreed to it just to make Tally shut up and then gone and used it anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
So Abigail wants them to go with, and Tally's like, no. I'm going to go with my girlfriend. And we get confirmation that Raylla is no longer immortal again, like old Mama Willa said in the last episode. And Tally is like, you guys need to stay here, find Scylla, and help the session in whatever way you can. And my question is, Raylla, was there ever a question of you going with Tally when Scylla is fucking captured and being held prisoner in the slaughterhouse? Why? That should have been priority number one. It felt like Raylla was not in a hurry to go get Scylla.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying the way Scylla's entire plotline was get Raylla to the point of hysteria, and then we don't see that reciprocated in Raylla to the same extent of like urgency, like you're saying.
Yeah, it seemed like they'd been. It seemed like they were comfy and not, and there was no. Oh my god, where's my girlfriend? We got to find out where
Callie,
she
use your
is.
fucking sight to find
Thank
Scylla. Why
you.
did that never occur to anybody?
We that's how we found Kalita.
Literally, you found the steward. You're not leaving till the sun rises. We have time. Try to find Scylla. Here's like a mushroom or something of hers. I don't know. Like, how hard would that have been? That would have saved a lot
Hold
of
one
stuff.
of her dead animals and find her. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It couldn't have been that hard.
Yeah. But Tally says, don't bother arguing. I've already seen that I walk out the door solo. Now, I appreciate the line. I also appreciate that in the subtitles, scene is spelled with a capital S. As in, like, I've already seen with my seeing vision. But then they finally act like the unit and we're teasing each other about teasing Tally again. Just put it that way. So that was cute, but also, hey, you guys should find Scylla. Just saying, she saved everyone's asses countless times. Just saying. All right. What do you got to say, Theora?
You literally said it all. Like, cute. I feel like they're just trying to insert unit moments into the season. Or like unit stuff. But like, again, they're on the same page, but they're not. But it's also nice that in this scene too, like Tally is standing up for herself, like finally to the unit and not just like going along with what they say. So I appreciate that growth aspect. That is what is different from like their first episode dynamics this season to now. Tally has grown up, is stronger with her backbone, I guess. Yeah, compared to previously where she would have caved to like Abigail and Rael's hesitancy about this. So I love that Tally's like, I already know I made up my mind. I saw myself leaving. Like, I'm doing this. You're not stopping me. So I do love that.
And you're staying here. You need to help people. Yeah. Find Scylla. Tally's the only one that's like, find Scylla.
Because Tally's the only one that grew as a character. Everyone else regressed or is slowly losing their mind like Scylla. But anyway, so speaking of like revisiting stuff we already saw, we cut back to the diner.
What's the timeline here?
Okay, that is literally my question. Okay, what time is it? Because Anacostia is leaving the diner right now. Last episode, we saw her and Nicta have that weird exchange we mused on, and then Anacostia leaves the diner, and Nicta follows her. Now it's like we had multiple scenes in between, a whole ass vision with Tally, and now Anacostia is now leaving the diner. What the fuck?
It feels like they just chopped this up all weird and just stuck it in.
Yeah, I feel like this whole plot line was very chopped, and they're just like, we're putting it here and breaking it up with the Alder stuff and the Rescue Scylla stuff, because why not? Time is a construct, everyone. Because okay, this doesn't make any sense. And the whole scene is basically a continuation of the scene we saw last episode, where Anacostia finally exits the diner, and Nicta and her spree gang come after her, because that was literally what we saw. And Anacostia corners Nicta and the spree minions in an alley, and pins Nicta up, and she's like, what are you doing here? Like, I'm looking for you. What the fuck? And basically Anacostia is seeking out Nicta, which was the impression we got in the last scene. And that's the whole scene. It's just like they're reinforcing what we saw in the diner outside. Like, that was the whole scene. TBD.
Woo!
Yeah. So,
well, I guess
we already did this. Then. Sure. I guess they had like 2 minutes to kill, and they're like, put this here.
Yeah, we filmed this scene. Let's just put it right there. My
I feel like we
favorite
already
part
knew this.
is that Anacosia's got Nicta pinned up against that dumpster and her little spree minions are just standing there. And I'm like, do you guys ever do anything or say anything, or do you literally just follow her around?
I mean, Nicta's the boss. They're not going to do anything unless she tells them.
Well, no, I mean, like, do they even speak?
No. Nicta's that
Because
much
you'd
of a
have to
boss. She's
pay
like,
them
"Don't
if they speak.
That's really what it is. Yeah.
More.
You know, none of those characters had names, and none of them
Yeah.
spoke a line. We had to save money for this 2
We
minute
did
scene.
listen to Caitlin.
I was thinking that on all these interactions with these spree people, and I'm like, they didn't want to pay these extras. That's what's happening right now. The bats are easy. They're like, we CGI the bats. We don't want to pay them shit. But the people, no one talked. Except Nicta.
She.
But yeah, that's the whole scene.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The bats.
The bats aren't even there yet. The bats are better. They come in later.
Yeah. So back to Tally, who's now chilling with Alder in the German mountains. Apparently, there's no underground travel mycelium style to this space because the mycelium can't travel through glaciers. And again, my question is a time one. So how the fuck did they get there that fast? Like, at what point did the mycelium drop them off and they had to hike up these mountains?
I know. I don't, it doesn't make any sense. Time is a construct, Bree. Anacostia is still leaving the diner. I don't know. It's like Russian doll or the time loops keep happening. Yeah, I don't get it. I was thinking that too. I'm like, how did they get this far?
Yeah, like, when she said we leave it, that didn't look that late in the day either. So if they rode the mycelium to even like the foot of this mountain, it's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they're going in the cave, and Tally makes Alder promise to get herself out, or before they get in the cave, I should say, makes her promise to get herself out and leave Tally behind, if necessary, because she's a steward. And since the first song is the most important thing, they have to protect that, and Alder I love that Alder's first thought is, if I don't come back with you, your unit's gonna be pissed at me. So it's kind of like, if I don't get you back home by curfew, your mom's gonna be mad. It's like, that's the vibe I got.
It's like end of world and then wrath of your unit.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that that's what Alder's concerned about, getting the unit getting mad at her. Okay, but yeah, it's sweet. But yeah, so this is for the good of all people, so she has to agree. And then they have that little conversation you referred to earlier where Alder is like, listen, I know that I lied a lot and did a lot of really shady shit, but I'm telling, like, you gotta trust me. And Tally's like, I do, because even though you were awful before, I can tell you're telling the truth.
How many times has she said this to Alder?
I don't know.
I know. That's the other drinking game.
The other drinking game is how many times will Tally waffle on Alder?
I know. But she's in it now. She's like,
yes, I believe you.
Like, you wouldn't break it. Yeah.
I watched you eat nachos. You didn't do that before. That means you changed.
Literally.
Yep.
Was that the whole scene?
That's the whole scene.
I can't remember. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So after Sound of Music Part 2, we go back to the session, and I guess it's I don't know if it's the same time with Tally, whatever. It's daytime in the session now, and Bear Killer's militia is there, and they bring this wounded army soldier into the house, and Raylla heals her, and interestingly uses her brand of Willa collar magic, where she does the Christian prayer, but like again doesn't take on the ailment. Like, I don't understand when that disappeared. Is this residual mycelium powers?
Yeah,
Is she like
she's still got the witch bomb power. She's just, it can't like bring her back from death anymore.
It's just been a hot minute since Rael's taken on an ailment. Just throwing that out there, but okay. And what's important about this interaction is that we get intel from the soldier once Raylla heals her enough to like be conscious and not in pain anymore. And basically she tells them that like President Fuckface detained all the fixers in the army before he like signed this order to invade the session. So he sent his army out without any medics. So in order to like make sure that like witches that get injured just die, and then there's less witches even in his own army. So that's disgusting. And the soldier, like after kind of like telling them this, then recognizes Raylla and tells her like, and Rael's like, yeah, I know, I've literally been on national television since season 2. I get it, I'm famous. And the girl's like, no, like, I know you because we were interrogating this witch prisoner we got the other day from you guys, and I was seeing your face in her visions, or in her mind, basically. So like basically they have Scylla in that interrogation center.
You skipped ahead.
No, she basically tells her like, I saw you in her visions, the detained.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's how, because this soldier was basically at the wherever Scylla was being held, and then got deployed and injured, and so I don't know how much time has elapsed either, because like Raylla's like, this has been days since this happened, but I was like, didn't Scylla get kidnapped yesterday? Like, what is time in this episode? I'm so confused. So I don't get that either, but like, sure. And this girl saw Scylla getting interrogated and saw Raylla in her mind. So that's what happened. Yeah. And anyway, whatever. And then Abigail immediately hears Scylla and is like, spill the beans, girl. Where's she at? And then we got away.
I love that Abigail was like, start talking.
I know. So like, Abigail's team Scylla all of a sudden. She's not team Tally, but she's team Scylla all of a sudden. Sure.
I mean, it's
gross.
I think it's like she saw how hard Scylla was going to find, like, get in touch with Raylla. Maybe she had like some kind of epiphany. Who knows? Anyway, you're right. She is team Scylla.
She is. Abigail picks and chooses where she
also nobody gets to, I think it's also a case of nobody gets to say or do terrible things to Scylla except for me. Kind of thing. Like that. Yeah. She's part of my group and I get to be mean to her.
Yeah. No, that tracks with Abigail. I'll take that.
Yeah. So we're gonna go right on over to Petra's office.
Fuck yeah, we are.
But unfortunately, guess who's sitting in Petra's chair?
President Fuckface.
At her desk. President Fuckface is here. And he's pouring himself a glass of Petra's whiskey.
Yeah, he is.
Like, why the hell would... What a bastard. He doesn't even know who he's messing with.
This whole scene...
He doesn't even know.
Is fucked up. Like, his behavior in her office is disgusting.
It comes off as half really awful, just dude bro, and half I'm a child who's being a little prick.
Yeah,
basically.
It's that inflated ego where it's like, I'm doing this because I can. Yeah. That's it. Just because I can.
He spits out her whiskey. Also an insult. And then Jarrett, who's the Jarrett and Garrett can go to hell together. Who's also there. Is it being a dick in the background by saying that witches have unrefined palates and that's why the whiskey sucks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's like bigot 101 here. And like, But okay, so basically the reason Silver's here is he's pissed that the army isn't crushing Bear Killer's militia. And because he knows that she's kind of obfuscating the whole thing and not really going full force into this. And so he orders her to break the stalemate. And if she does, maybe he'll be lenient on the unit when they capture them.
Sure.
Sure, okay, that's a lie, but whatever. He leaves, and Petra, like, lets all that pent-up emotion she was feeling just in out. And I was like, she probably could have fried you alive with all of that. Just like, oh.
You know, she wanted to send a hailstorm into that office.
She did.
I'm so surprised during this interaction we didn't hear, like, storm clouds brewing like we did with Wade at the end of season 2. So Petra was controlling something, like, and that must have taken a lot, you know, with him. He's worse than what Wade was doing at the end.
The way she let out that breath, I think the stakes were so high and directly involved her daughter. So,
I know.
But Catherine, kudos to you.
You're a goddess, for real.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Love her so much.
Okay, question though. Was this Petra's whiskey or is that Alder's whiskey? Because Alder was the one that loved whiskey and definitely had whiskey in the office.
I question. I don't think it would have been there that long. I think Petra would have drank it by then.
Yeah, that's right. It was a month between season 1 and season 2. Petra would have downed it all.
I feel like she would have had a lot of occasions to need a glass of whiskey in that time period.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. She's gone through bottles. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
that's true. Hey, you're right.
That her little assistant that we see later on, in the room, has like a gigantic, like there are crates of empty bottles that need to be recycled.
It's part of being the office assistant. You gotta hide them whiskey bottles.
This is what she was doing off screen.
That girl does everything. They run Fort Salem, office assistants. So I was happy to see her back. I'm not gonna lie. What on God's green earth are you doing? Our producer's lost her mind. Okay, cool. Was that the whole scene, or is there more to that?
No, that's the whole scene.
Cool. All right. So after that gross scene, we go back to Tally and Alder in the cave. And basically, at this point, they're in the cave, and they find all the ice tombs. And Tally concludes, because there's no vessel around. This isn't as easy as when they found Estelle's song or whatever in the trailer. Tally's like, there's no like perfume bottle. It's got to be more complicated than that. It must be in the witch's vocal cords, and we have to somehow get it from her. And then Alder delivers the amazing, poignant, dramatic line, "Time to wake the witch."
Yeah.
And so, how do you know she's alive in there? Like, what a gamble.
It really is.
This whole thing was. What a gamble.
There's no way to know unless you get in there or whatever.
I guess ice-tuned witches is a thing, and all this like, yes, she's fine.
I guess. So that means the dudes are fine too,
right? Which I don't like. I don't like
me
that.
either.
No.
I think they should have just. Well, I'm gonna say that they get taken out later on in the episode.
By nature, yes. I think so too.
So. That scene does not really much to comment on there.
Nope, we're moving along. Wake the witch.
Moving along. Back to getting the intel about Scylla from that soldier. So no one knew Scylla's name or who she was, just that she was important. The soldiers, this is like super fucked up. Right here, the soldiers were all forced to link with her, so they could get any intel on her that that they could, or intel on the militia that they could. And it was like, I wonder how hard they really tried.
Yeah, right. If they're Petra soldiers, I don't think they tried that hard, because I don't think they were like made to by General.
Civilian people don't know how this works.
Correct.
So
that's why the soldier is telling them. If the civilians knew, this army soldier wouldn't have been doing it. It would have been the civilian witches, but they don't know how to link. Because it's not like as simple as just vocal work. They can mimic and download into a database.
So I mean, like, they wouldn't know even what was being seen by these soldiers. I mean, they could have told them anything, which is it's funny that they chose to try to get the intel that way. But basically, they did try at some point, in some way, shape, or form, because she said that she would block her mind, and the only thing she would ever show were memories of Raylla. So that's kind of cute. Now, because season 1, Raylla was the only thing that broke Scylla in interrogation, and now she's the thing that makes Scylla stronger in interrogations and what she's using to block the people out.
She's using love as a weapon.
Yes, because she's a love warrior, according to Amalia.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That's what she said. She's like, she said that Scylla's a warrior, like a love warrior this season.
Yeah.
And that's accurate.
Yeah. She's right.
I think it kind of ties back to that concept. And there's a lyric in a song by a Norwegian singer. And she likes to talk about people being warriors for love. So I think that may be something that tied in there, because it seems like an artist that Amalia would know. It's very big in Sweden and Norway, so. And she sings in English, so she's known here as well. But anyway, the asshole civilians are determined to break Scylla, and Raylla says that she's going to go in and get her, even if she does it alone. It's over the place they're holding Scylla is over the line in army territory, so it's not somewhere that Thelma can send her militia. It's a suicide mission, is what Thelma says, and then of course Abigail steps in and says, "Those are the missions we do best."
Because you put yourselves in those situations all the fucking time.
Yeah, Abigail. They do. It's like they do it a lot. So Raylla is like, you guys don't have to do that. Like, I'm not asking you to come try to rescue Scylla. And I was like, you don't have to ask. Scylla's one of us. So like I said, Abigail's like, she's one of us. Nobody gets to pick on her except for me. Yeah. And in another scene where I grow to like Thelma even more, she's like, "Get back to our line safely." She's like the coolest character this season.
She is.
Seriously.
She is.
Raylla has to confirm and make sure that she heard this right from Abigail, because I would too if I were her. But she asks Abigail, "Did you just say that Scylla's one of us?" And Abigail's response is, I've always had a soft spot for shitbirds. So I guess she really is one of them now. So Tally's not a shitbird, but Raylla and Scylla are.
I mean, they're basically one person now, so they get.
Yeah, they are. It's the lesbian urge to merge.
Oh my god, yeah, we'll get to that, but yeah, they both get the nickname now. Yeah, all the kudos in the world to Thelma. Thelma is fucking awesome. Maybe she's on the show forever.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Scylla's being held in a school that the Camarilla commandeered, and it's in some place called New Tansy. Is that anything like New Jersey?
New Jersey. I mean, there's still the session, so it's the session version, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to leave them to go do their thing and go back to Anacostia and Nicta, who are now at a mechanic shop. I guess Nicta owns.
It's the one that we're talking about in the scene from last episode. So I guess it really did shut down, but only because Nicta owns it now.
I guess this is what Nicta did. Nicta said, fuck all you guys, I'm leaving to do my own thing. She went and bought a mechanic shop and then found a bunch of
I thought she just killed the owner.
that too, or the owner was in the spree and she's like, this is mine now. Thanks. But regardless, Nicta off screen owns a mechanic shop, I guess. And so Anacostia ends up there, and Nicta starts grilling Anacostia about, like, she's like, it was weird you're coming after me, but, like, why the fuck are you even here? Like, you're the head of army intelligence. Why are you even in this session? And she seems like super defensive about this because, like, I mean, she technically is a fugitive still and wanted for treason and stuff, probably. So she's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, you after me? And Anacostia has an amazing line where she's like, well, if I don't use my vacation days by the end of the year, I lose them. So she's like, I'm on vacation, bitch. So I love that because, like, as a government employee, that's so true. So I love it. And Nicta's somewhat impressed by, like, Anacostia's banter because I don't think they've ever had a true banter off with each other. And, like, what characters to have a banter off? They're both amazing. Eat that. Good job.
I love them and their sass.
I love it. And Nicta's retort to that is the bravado. Like, I just love their sass. It's so good.
Me too.
But yeah, like, to be fair, like, Anacostia, she's like, you came into my house and you're, you know, insulting my army, so what the fuck? I get to insult you back. And Anacostia looks at the minions who never have lines or names or say anything, and she's like, this is your army? Like, please. And then Nicta, of course, was just being dramatic as fuck. So she, like, lures her into this mechanic shop. And then she's like, you want to see a real fucking army? Watch this. And then summons bats from, like, every air duct in the fucking mechanic shop. I think she just owns this thing, and the bats just live in the air ducts. And so she, like, summons them. And they start, like, flying everywhere. What is with witches on the show? Just, like, summoning bats randomly. It's a thing. Alder did it in season 1 with the sexcapades and Beltane. Here's Nicta doing it. Something about bats. And it's wonderful and super dramatic. And so I guess Nicta, this was what Nicta was also doing off screen. She was, like, building her version of an army, which is this bat work that she does because no one can really stop her with it. And Anacostia looks a little concerned when she sees the millions of bats coming out of the duct because diseases, number 1. And number 2, because the work that Nicta can do with the bats is kind of unstoppable, so that's concerning. And then after that, Anacostia's like, okay, fine. I'm not really here to arrest you because that's what you're worried about. I'm here because I want your help to find Wade because I know that you have experience, like, evading the marshal. And so you could probably reverse engineer that and find him and help save the world by getting us Wade back. Because again, second golden goose egg to save the world is Wade. Telling Alder to getting the first song, Anacostia's getting Wade. We need those 2 things to save the world. And Nicta is as skeptical as we are about this. And she's like, you think Wade is really going to change all of this shit that's going down? Like, you guys must be crazy, number 1. And number 2, Nicta gets really mad because she's like, she's not a witch. Like, the problem here is that there's bigotry and hatred against us. And you're putting all your eggs in the basket of a not witch to save the day. She's like, I don't trust this plan. This plan seems stupid to me and shady. Because Wade's a cog in the system, and, like, reinstating her keeps the status quo, and, like, I'm trying to burn that shit and change things. That's why I made the spree. So why would I be on board with this plan? This is dumb. And I love when she gives this speech. She does this, like, salute to Anacostia, and it's just, it's so good. I love that speech. Like, I missed you, sassy Nicta, very, very much. And Anacostia, like, I guess, like, processes this, but also, like, just gets really defensive about it because she can't really see Nicta's point of view here because Anacostia is, by the rule, Anacostia, and she's like, listen, the world is burning. Why not help put out the fire for once in your damn life instead of, like, stoking it? And Nicta, like, hesitates at this because, you know, originally Nicta's mission was always to change the world, and then she had this coming to Lesbian Jesus moment, you know, in the jail cell with Tally, where she was like, maybe my methods weren't the best way, but, like, the point is I was trying to change things and not keep them going. And, like, that backfired. Here's the camera using my work against me kind of thing. So I think she kind of, like, does take this for a second and is like, am I making the same mistake again kind of thing? But it's Nicta, and she puts her mask back on immediately and just slips back into her sarcasm. And she's like, I can give you a tune-up. the car's mechanic shop. That's the best I can do for you. I'm not helping you with this plan, basically. And Anacostia is like, fuck this shit, and she leaves. And then we linger on Nicta for a bit, who looks kind of conflicted about this. And I think she genuinely is, based on like where her character has gone since we've met her.
I love this big witch energy off.
So good. Yeah, they're fun. I wish they had more scenes together. They are fun.
Me too.
They're both super sassy and like quick-witted, and yeah, they're fun verbally. And
I think Candace and Demetria work really well together.
they definitely did, for sure. I enjoyed watching them square off.
I'm gonna have to watch that scene again just for funsies.
It's so good. I love Nicta's little like salute.
Oh, that was amazing. I loved it. It was so good.
They're both great.
Oof. Go Candace.
Go Candace, go Demetria. They did a really great job. The way that both of them acted that out. With Anacostia's like, gotta use my vacation days or I lose them all. Like, they're both just like on their high horse. Like, they're both on their bullshit, and it's really fucking funny.
This scene could have not worked at all if they hadn't been so good.
Yeah. No, I do love it. Their dynamic is funny here because they're just like they both have a lot of big witch energy, and then they're both not really conceding ground to each other at all verbally in the conversation. So like they're still stuck in this like childish like bantering kind of thing, even though they're like talking about something really serious like the end of the world. But like it's a very fun scene. I love it. And shout out to all those extras who had to stand there and watch this magnificence and never get to say a word. You guys are
over and over and over again.
Yeah, I know, over and over again.
So let's head on over to finally rescuing Scylla. So the one time that Scylla actually needs everyone's help because she sacrificed herself for everyone. Again, like she hasn't sacrificed herself yet, but still, here she is, trapped in the slaughterhouse. So Abigail, Adil, and Raylla are outside the school, hiding behind a bush, because that's how they do, discussing how to infiltrate the school. No invisibility magic, because dampeners and scanners. No storms, because that might bring the whole building down. And no witch bomb, because Raylla promised Tally. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but wouldn't Raylla, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, you promised Tally, but this is Scylla.
Again, these two, like, Raylla and Abigail pick really stupid hills to die on this season.
They do!
You know what I mean? Like, this was a stupid hill to die on.
It was.
Like, you can't be using the witch bomb to destroy the world if Tally's not there. Like, Tally has to physically be there for her vision to come true. This was not the vision.
The vision, this was not anything at all like the vision.
Tally described the vision. She's like, we're in a weird cave. And there's, like, purple walls. And we're in our army uniform. Like, she could have described the vision, and then Raylla's like, cool, I'm in plaid jacket, Scylla's there, Tally's not here. I think we're good.
At a school. Yeah.
We're at a school. Come on, guys.
Sweet hells.
I mean, it played out great, but, like, stupid hill to die on. This is where she should use the witch bomb.
Exactly.
Anyway, it was dumb.
So Adil thinks that they should do this the old-fashioned way by pretending to be a drunk couple. So
have they not pretending to be a drunk couple this whole season?
I think so. Well, Adil's been pretending to be a doormat, so
he's been forced to be a Abigail has been forcing him to be a doormat this season. Yeah.
So Raylla slips into the school. Well, of course, okay, so they pretend to be a drunk couple. The guards come out and are like, hey, what are you guys doing? They do their whole spiel, or Adil does, and pretending like they're going to throw up. And then they ask for Adil and Abigail's papers. And then Adil reaches in his jacket like he's going to get them. But instead, he comes out with a big old fist and takes the two guards out very handily, because somehow he learned all of the martial arts real fast.
What was this? I know. Did because again, we saw Abigail use some of his earth work, like the invisibility thing. Was she
I just
combat
trade.
training him off screen?
I guess so. She looks so
Maybe.
surprised and impressed, though.
I know. Like, when did Adil learn martial art? We saw him slug a dude once, but it was like clearly somebody who doesn't know how to slug people.
Yeah.
He did this, which is somebody who's been training.
I don't know. Maybe he got the only other people he could have got to teach him anything were Tally and Tally, Nictor, Scylla. So one of those three, the only one of those three that I could see training him at all really would be Scylla.
Yeah. If it's not Abigail doing it, then yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
No character doesn't make any sense to me this season at all.
No,
he just leapfrogged and we're like, he's a vicious murderer now. And it's like,
what? I don't think he makes sense to Tony either, so.
Yeah, I don't think he does. But the distraction works.
Yeah, the distraction works because Raylla slips in the school, which wasn't locked or whatever. I guess they have guards out there, so they don't have to lock it. I guess. But seriously, it's late at night or something, or it seems later. I don't know. Whatever. Raylla gets in, that's the point.
It is dumb. I chalk it up to angry white people arrogance, and they're just like, we don't need to fucking lock doors.
Oh, no, you're totally right. That's what it is, because we know these people make those kind of moves all the time, and they're dumb.
Exactly. So, sure.
I shouldn't have even questioned.
All right. So, away from that, we go back to the Cave of Wonders, where Allie and Alder.
Cave of Wonders.
With their frozen witch. And they're...
It doesn't for something else. Tally and Alder's Cave of Wonders.
Take that as you will. So they're waking the witch. And then Alder is like, listen, Tally, we need to bottom line is we need to do some kind of transfer, which is some kind of process that witches do when they pass down their work. So I get this song is not the same thing as what we saw everybody do in basic training when they were taught how to do a seed sound. This kind of song thing is more it has to get passed down through this process from person to person, kind of transfer of magic versus learning it kind of thing. So, and Alder's like, listen, I'm not really sure how this works because I've never done this. How she got her song, I guess maybe she doesn't remember, but she's like, I've never physically done this, but this is what we have to do somehow. And they're like, okay, cool, but we have to get to this frozen witch. How do we do that? And so they're like, well, Alder's like, I happen to bring the voice box with me because I'm Alder. And maybe if we play this, because it's one of the steward songs, maybe she'll her magic or conscious will come back to her and she'll be like, oh, somebody that knows me is here and who isn't a threat. And kind of like a peace offering is what they're doing magically or whatever. And this is the scene where Tally, to me, it's apparent she has never seen a horror movie ever, because as Alder's talking about this creepy shit they're about to do, Tally's like, let me get closer to the frozen witch. And then the witch wakes up because the song's playing, she's becoming conscious, and grabs out her hand through the ice and grabs Tally on the forehead. And possesses Tally a little and uses Tally to communicate because her whole fucking body's frozen. So she's linking with her and using her voice, basically, is what's happening here. And Alder just looks shook as fuck this entire time and worried for Tally, but also really curious about what the fuck's happening because this is all wild. And the first thing the frozen witch comments on is wow, I can finally see again. So see, put a pin in that because Tally's a seer. She hasn't seen planting that seed. And Alder's like, cool, you're awake. Listen, we're here because we need to get the first song because it's danger time and we all have to play our part and play our song. I'm a steward too. The time has come, chosen one. We got to do what we're supposed to do. And this bitch is not having this. She's like, listen, I was hunted for this fucking song. That's how I ended up in this ice prison. You see those goons over there with the swords? Yeah, that was fun. And how do I know that you're not here to steal it from me like they were trying to steal it from me? So fuck all of you. I'm going to strike first for once and take something you like away from you. And basically, the thing that Alder loves is Tally. So she starts freezing Tally in front of Alder. And we cut away from that.
Listen. Man, that witch was big mad.
Yeah.
The frozen witch.
I don't
Can
believe
we call her...
Yeah.
Can we call her Elsa?
Elsa. Yeah, why not? Princess Elsa. Well,
she's a frozen witch.
She's a frozen witch.
Yeah.
I was like, was she from Germany? She's from some northern European area.
She's from Germany. She's German. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about this. I think you covered it all. Alder and Elsa. And Tally be freezing. I love those behind the scenes photos that Jess shared of her face frozen, though. That must have taken a hot minute with the makeup. Might have to ask Leash how they would do that. Since that's her department. Okay. Who wants to get some Raylla? Because that's the next scene.
Probably everyone.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Scylla's chained up, and there's a pathetic white dude getting ready to stone her. Like they were gonna stone Tiffany, except the rocks are bigger this time.
Yeah.
He's got a pail full of actual, like, big stones. And he thinks that he's at the effing county fair because he's like... And may I mention that they're in the school theater and there's actual sets, like set dressing behind Scylla that she's like chained up in front of, which was just kind of unnerving and meant to be that way.
In front of the children.
In front of the children. So he goes on droning on about how he's glad that she didn't break because then she gets to his department, which is basically killing witches, really bad things, pulling them, whatever. He's the asshole serial killer guy that gets to murder them, basically. Sure. Which why they wouldn't take out her vocal cords. I guess they're going to do it afterwards. Who knows? I don't know.
That was dumb because she has powerful vocal cords.
Yes, she does.
That was dumb.
So he throws one of the stones and it nearly hits her head, but she swerves it out of the way. And then he asks her if she wants to say anything. And in true Scylla Big Witch Energy Ramshorn fashion, she says, "Let's play ball." That was kind of hot, gotta say. So he starts to throw another stone, but he's interrupted by Raylla, who is standing at the very back of this theater and just says, "Unlock her." So they banter a little bit before Raylla goes into how the witch bomb is a terrible way to die, and does he really want to go that way? By describing how it just the mushrooms go from inside and take over every nerve. And then when Scylla clocks what she's doing, she joins in with a description, joins in on the description of how one guy had to claw into his own belly to try to get it out. And so he's sufficiently terrified at this point, this big dude who kills witches for a living. And so he literally says I think this is the funniest line and most ludicrous one. He says, "I just work here."
Okay. While it's ludicrous, this is exactly what the Nazi officer said.
Yes, it is.
Under Hitler, and when Hitler was removed from power and they were all being tried, they were saying, "I was just following orders." But you see how that changes when they're in the position of power, and he was just alone with Scylla, and Scylla was like, for all back of a better term, helpless, in the sense that like he had all the power and she didn't. And he was like, well, I'm glad they didn't do anything, because now I get to deal with you by stoning you to death. And the minute the power balance shifts and he has no power and Raylla has all the power, he's like, well, I was just doing my job. Like, so humans behave like this. Like, when they have overt confidence and that justifies the evil shit they're doing, they're so confident in what they're doing. But the minute they have no power, like, yeah, I was wrong, but like, I was following orders. I was just doing what I was told. Like, I didn't know. Like, but that bitch knew very full well what he was doing. Like that.
Oh yeah.
This is what the Nazis did. Exactly this. Like, this is unfortunately real. So it's ludicrous to us, but like, this is what happened when the Nazi officers got tried after Hitler fell. They said this exact thing. So
absolute cowards, basically.
Absolute cowards, yeah. Despicable human beings.
So he goes to unchain Scylla, and he's not very good at any of this. He turns his back to her like a dumbass, and she uses the stone he was about to hit her with, to bash him in the back of the head. He falls off the stage and onto the floor, and Raylla approaches him and kicks him in the face, like a boot to the face, and he's out for the count.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Do it again. Kick him in other places too.
Just send mushrooms on him for funsies. You describe it so vividly. Show him what it's like.
Yeah.
Witch bomb his ass.
Wake him up and then witch bomb his ass.
Yes.
So, but no, she promised Tally, remember?
Literally, nobody is keeping their promises to Tally, Raylla. Just do it.
Yeah. Just go.
Do it.
Scylla would approve. Yes. But, okay, fine. Like, she has something else to concentrate on now, because she's finally in the same room with Scylla for the first time in forevers. And so they take this moment to stare at each other.
Yeah, gay staring, yes.
Gay staring, and like they can't believe that they're actually here. And then Raylla runs up onto the stage and kisses Scylla. So that's where the scene from the trailer, the very first trailer we ever saw, came from. We've got that very, very, very goldy yellow greenish. Lesbian Jesus light. It is greenish because they're together. Mm-hmm. So there you have it. They kiss, and then
again, wait, no, it's not just a kiss though. It's classic Raylla. It's classic Raylla, classic Scylla, right? Where it's like, Raylla is attacking Scylla with her face. You know how Scylla is always getting attacked by other people's faces? That's exactly what Raylla does.
Exactly what happened.
Their face.
All the time.
All the
time.
Her hands. Yeah. Oh yeah. The hands automatically gravitate to the face, and then it's just attacking her face.
Do they even have a kiss where Raylla isn't touching Scylla's face?
No. It's this unconscious thing where Raylla's always, her hands always gravitate to Scylla's cheeks every single fucking time. Yeah. This is what happens.
There's like a spot that she does like to grab, like right kind of towards the back of Scylla's neck too.
I feel like with the attacking the face with her face things though, it's more so like to prevent their teeth from knocking. I feel like that's why Taylor does it, like in these moments, because they're like, she like launches at her every time.
Yeah, she does.
So it's like, so we don't actually attack each other's faces with our faces. I'm gonna do this so I can slow myself down so that we don't lose the teeth when we're doing this. I feel like that's why she does it. But like when she's not launching herself at Scylla, her hands will inevitably end up on Scylla's face one way or the other. Every time.
They did end up knocking each other face-wise in season 2, episode 8, which is hilarious to hear about.
Of course.
How the one, it was like too fast.
Yes, because Raylla is always attacking Scylla with their face. But yeah, that's why I think the hands go there. It's to like slow the momentum a bit, so they don't do that.
That and I really do love that they have all of the little things that they've come up with that these characters do with one another. Like, they're always touching, for one thing, which is something that is nice to see. I like what that thing Raylla does to Scylla's chin, too.
Oh, yeah, she does the little, like,
yeah.
touches, yeah.
Yeah. So, very Raylla. But, after Raylla's done attacking Scylla's face with her face, the alarm goes off announcing intruders. I'm guessing that's what that alarm is for.
Yeah, I guess.
And so she tells Scylla to hold that feeling. And then they flee the building, meeting up with Adil and Abigail, who says, "Nice to have you back, Ramshorn." And may I point out that we kind of got teased here, because Raylla says, "Hold that feeling." And then we're all holding that feeling for the rest of the episode.
Yes, there was no payoff to that line. There's no payoff. I will say, though, yeah, I thought that was hilarious. And I was like, okay, what? Okay, sure. But also, I love the scene when they're like, they skitter to a halt, like in the hallway, and run into Abigail and Adil. Scylla's face looks genuine, like, holy fuck, you actually came to save me.
Yeah, like, you came Abigail. To save me. She was smiling.
Yeah, she was like genuinely like, wow, okay, like,
hi.
Because Scylla deserves validation, because
she does.
How many times has she saved everybody's ass on this show? We forgot to count, even though we said we would. But it's all the time, so
I'm gonna have to go back and count at some point.
Finally, others are risking their ass to save her. And she deserves it, and she deserves to see that. So, good for you, Scylla. Scylla gets all the things this episode. Good for you.
Absolutely.
All right, so we go from that gay scene to the Cave of Wonders, where Tally and
it'll never not be funny.
So, at this point, the witch is freezing Tally, and Alder is just losing her shit because she can't break Tally free from whatever the fuck is happening. And Alder starts like growling and getting furious, and it's so good. And then when she's at her wit's end, she resorts to the most lesbian solution I've ever seen, and pulls a Xena by grabbing one of the frozen swords, ripping it from its icy tomb like it's Excalibur, and like cuts that frozen steward's hand clean off. Hydrate for Lesbian Jesus for a moment of just Alder holding a sword. Okay. So thanks for hydrating, because women with swords is like the best thing ever. So thanks, Alder. And Tally, once that happens, the witch's arm is gone. Tally's like released from the spell, and she like falls to the ground. And Alder sees this and just like ditches the sword and immediately falls to her knees and is like face cupping and checking over Tally, who's totally fine because her warrior princess girlfriend just saved her ass. So she's like, I'm good. That was awesome. But the downside of all of this is that while the gays are fine, the cave is collapsing. And it starts cracking like in real time. And they're like, great, we have to get the fuck out of here or we're gonna die. But also we need the song that the frozen bitch still has. So fuck. And so this is the dilemma. And Alder's like, well, fuck this, because I almost lost you, Tally, and you're more important than the song. And then Tally's like, fuck me, we need the song. And like, ladies, there's an obvious solution here. Get the song and then fuck later. And everyone gets what they want. So that's the scene.
That's the scene.
That's the scene. Did you like the
scene?
Listen.
Alder Warrior Princess.
The way she was just feral in the scene was
she growled.
She straight up growls. Like, growls. And then the way she like takes the sword out of the ice like she's King Arthur. Like, it's amazing. The whole scene. Oh my god, this scene is so good. When Raylla said hold that feeling, she meant for this scene because
I guess so.
she's like, "Oh, that feeling."
She wasn't even talking. Well, I mean, wasn't really in a hurry to rescue Scylla in the first place, so I guess.
I know. She's like, "Hey, you've waited long enough. I took my sweet ass time getting here. Hold those feelings."
Yeah. We'll come back to this someday.
Right. 5 years later, you still got that feeling?
You still got the feeling?
Yes.
Should we go ahead and consummate that feeling? Jesus Christ.
Like, Raylla,
literally lesbian Jesus.
I got a feeling.
Oh dear.
Welcome, Caitlin.
We did. So at the border, the fugitives are towards the border. The fugitives are running, I should say. Mm-hmm. So behind them is an army officer cadet unit and some civilian forces.
Yeah.
Listen.
Indeed.
They get to the border and the army officer cadets are stuck between the civilian commanders and with the Jeeps or the Humvees, whatever, and the border. I'd like to point out that we have our first female Camarilla commander person. And I already want to punch her in the face repeatedly. Yes. Can I borrow one of those stones from the rescue scene?
Right? Girl, what are you doing?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing? Unpack that internalized misogyny, girl.
Thank you.
Get some therapy. You don't need to be doing
lots of it. I mean, I think Raylla gets therapy first, but...
Well, yes, Raylla needs therapy for real. That should be... Someone needs to get that for Raylla for her birthday or some shit.
Yeah, for real. Exactly. There's a spinoff, Raylla Goes to Therapy.
Literally. They all need to go to therapy.
Yeah, for real. So... At the front of these cadet officers, we have Lupe Cortez, who we've seen a few times this season. We knew she was going to be important when they actually named her outside of the mother tongue class. Mm-hmm. So she's at the helm of these officer cadets, and she's like, "Oh shit, we're outnumbered by a lot. Bear Killer's militia is like sitting right there. What the hell are we gonna do?" So they're like kind of waffling between retreating, so they're kind of backing up, but the civilian commanders are not having it and order them to attack. But what are they gonna do? Like, either way they go, they're screwed 5 ways from Sunday. They attack Bear Killer's militia, and they're just gonna get beat into the ground for one thing, and for another thing, they're attacking other witches. So that's just something that, like, that's something you don't do.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, again, they sent them without fixers. The goal is just to kill as many witches as possible.
Exactly.
That's the goal. Yeah.
That is the goal.
Yeah, and these poor cadets just realize it slowly in real time as this plays out, unfortunately.
And to put a fine point on that, the civilian commander orders them to attack, but when they won't, they start wind striking the cadets. So we see 2 of them wind strike. Another scene from the trailer.
Yep. Who would have saw that coming? That was crazy.
It was crazy. At the time, we didn't know that they had everybody was going to have the
voice box things.
Voice boxes.
I know. It's disgusting.
Here we are. This is America.
But we do leave that scene and go to my favorite scene in the episode. How we got the title of this episode, everyone. Mm-hmm. So we start with Petra at her desk, a little bit of disarray, getting intel, I assume via far speech because she's rubbing her head. And she basically laments out loud that the angry white people are killing her soldiers. And she's like, what the fuck have I done? Because Petra basically gave them the orders to like contain the situation, don't escalate things, like follow their orders enough, but not too much, try to spare as many lives as possible. And like, as we saw in the last scene, the soldiers are trying to do that, and it's getting them killed by the angry white people who are allegedly on their side. So Petra's like, crap, I underestimated them. Fuck. And then Gross Garrett was there because of course he is. And he has the audacity to patronizingly monologue at Petra, which was dumb. But this misogynist essentially shows his entire hand to Petra about like their game plan, basically. And he said, well, you were basically the perfect general to come in after Alder, because we all saw Alder puppet the president and like do whatever, because Alder, for all her faults, really believed what she was doing was the right thing for America. And like you kind of still see that passion in Alder now. And basically they kind of knew this about Alder. And like, she'll break the rules. She's super powerful, but she does what she has to do. Whereas Petra was always like, by the book, by the rules, and doesn't step out of line and respects, you know, the order and things like that. And the camera is like, we knew that. And we knew that by putting you in, you're going to follow all the rules. And so, you know, when it came time to it, to have when we tied your hands together, basically by saying you have to, you know, you're bound by the Salem Accord, president signed a thing that says you have to go in the session, you have to go invade them. We knew that you were basically just going to like play nice kind of thing and not go rogue like Alder would and like pull a Braveheart or some shit. And while this gross man is monologuing, Petra starts tapping her fancy red pen on the table. And I think what she's doing very slowly is she's like linking with him without him realizing it, and is like really honing in on his heart over time. Because when he stops monologuing and her pen hits the table, the sound crew shifts it from the tapping sound to the heartbeat sound to signify that like she's fully linked to his heart and is controlling the heartbeats with the pen. So good job, sound team. And then as she starts talking, she starts changing his arrhythmias of his heart from like a normal beat to like tachycardia, basically. And she starts giving him her own monologue where she's like, listen, I took my oath very seriously to protect America from threats foreign and domestic, and is basically like threatening him right here and now. And like as she's saying this, once she gets like that last word, it really sinks in on him that she's controlling his heart and is just saying, hey, you're an enemy. And if you're an enemy, then I can kill you and that's fine. And I can legally do that within the bounds of the Salem Accord. And she starts picking up the heartbeat as she's saying, like continues. And she's like, we are the daughters of ancient lions called to greatness. And then gives the man VTAC, which is a fatal arrhythmia. And he dies. But sadly, so does Petra's pen. So like, thank you for your sacrifice, beautiful pen. What a life you led. Thank you for killing a misogynist. We appreciate you. And I love when this is over. Not only is this like one of the best deaths on the whole show, and it was amazing, but then when she's done, Petra looks at the painting of Alder, almost like in a way that she like knew. Sorry, my dog's being an asshole. Almost like she knew Alder would be proud of what just went down, because she would be. But also it's kind of like Petra acknowledging like all the difficult decisions Alder had to make in order to save America kind of thing, and bend the rules a little bit, which is kind of what Petra was doing. So it's almost like an acknowledgement of like, I get the hard decisions you had to make and how that may have looked, and like, I get you. Like, it's almost like a bonding moment with Alder kind of for Petra. Like, they understand each other better here, at least from Petra's point of view.
She's such a badass.
She is a total badass. I fucking love Petra. But before we leave this scene, I have one last thing. And this is the what was Isadora doing off screen moment. So, okay. I love Petra's fancy favorite pen. And like, it's not just any pen. It's like a red, fancy looking like pen you'd get as a
fountain
gift.
pen type.
Yes. yeah, I was gonna call it a fountain pen, but it's not really. It's like a fancy pen that I think she got as a gift when she became the general. And I would like to think that Isadora gave the gift to Petra because like they've been besties this whole time, like since she became general. And that would make me happy. And also, I think Isadora would 1,000,000% appreciate the fact that her pen gift was used to kill this man. So it works on many levels. So I think Isadora's thrilled, and I think she gave her the pen as a gift for like being general.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm totally down with that.
Yeah. And
Totes.
like it'd be really funny if like she also like taught her that move too. She's like, you can link with people's hearts with pens and just kill them. That would be an
Mm-hmm.
Isadora like over drinks thing she would spill.
Yep.
So if this has Isadora written all over it, I love it.
Whiskey in the office.
Whiskey, yeah, they definitely have whiskey by the fireplace because there's no
Mm-hmm.
biddies in there anymore. So like it must get lonely.
Yeah.
So,
No
Isadora
biddies,
comes
so
in.
you gotta have somebody in.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, all right. So back to the border, where the civilian assholes are wind striking two more cadets. And then Cortez has a light bulb go off. And since she can't attack the civilians directly, they have that reflective armor on. She wind strikes the electric lines where they connect to the transformer, and those come down, and the lines electrocute some of the civilian soldiers. And two of the cadets try to run for the borderline where the militia is, but the civilian commanders, wind strike them and kill them. So all these freaking cadets are being killed like two by two. Cortez took took some of them out, but that's also important because it's the first time one of the army witches has attacked the civilians. So there's that. And then Cortez, for some reason, I guess forgets for a hot second that she can't attack them directly and tries to wind strike them, which just reflects back at her, and she's thrown like way far towards the border and lands on the ground. And we're like, well, I guess she's pretty much a goner. And then Abigail calls up a storm, and very sharp hail starts to rain down and impale the civilian force. And I don't like, you don't, there are witches at the back. There are more, I don't know if there are more officer cadets at the back of the civilian force. So you don't like, I don't see them getting hit. I think it's like she's directed exactly at the civilians. But
Yeah. Yeah, I was worried about that too when I was watching it. I'm like, isn't Cortez gonna get hit and stuff? But like, yeah, Abigail like has this crazy precision where it literally
mhm.
just hits the enemy. It's very, very cool. Because we've never seen them do this kind of weather work before. So it's almost like a sophisticated version of what Quinn was doing when
Mhm.
she was showing off to Scylla. So
Yeah,
like it's really impressive what Abigail does here.
it really is. And
Yeah.
it was really impressive that the hail was shaped in a way that
Yeah.
created sharp, like knives, basically ice knives.
Yeah, and it like
So
pierces the armor too. Like regular hail wouldn't have
yeah,
like had that effect. So yeah, very clever.
the first one that hits the male commander in the arm, I love the woman was like,
Oh,
shake it off.
yeah, like a baby. Like Abigail
Baby,
says it like
it's
with
just
her neck.
hail. Yeah. And then she gets freaking impaled all over the place with
That's so
these
good.
things. And it was so good.
That's so good.
I was like, again, Abigail did not annoy me in this episode. So
No,
vast improvement over past
I know,
episodes.
right? Well, this is Abigail in battle. It's the one thing she knows how to do.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
When there's a battle, Abigail's on it.
right?
And
Exactly.
throwing all her best stuff out and impressing us. So the army cadets that were at the back of the whole procession run in the opposite direction, and then our core four go check on the cadet officers that were windstruck by the civilian commanders. Abigail goes for Cortez, who's dying, and talking about how, well, this is all for nothing. Wonderful. Great. My mom always said that dying in battle was glorious, which I think it was good for Abigail to see/hear this, because it sounds like the kind of shit her mom, like her family, would have instilled into her. And so,
no, like literally, remember in the beginning of the show where Abigail would like offhandedly say that shit to people, like Raylla, who lost her mom. She's like, "Well, soldiers are supposed to die. That's the big honor." And that used to like offend Raylla. Like,
yep,
yeah, like it's one thing to spout it; it's another thing to see it happening. Yeah, so it's a full circle moment for Abigail.
It really is.
But, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
and you can see how much it affects her in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So they yell for a fixer, and of course, the only person that can ever show up.
Oh, it's Raylla. Like, we need a fixer. Raylla's always right there. Yeah, I gotta get it. Jesus.
Lesbian should be Jesus. This should be our next sticker. We need a fixer. So yeah. Well, I woke up Caitlin with that one. So yeah, Raylla comes up and she can't save Cortez. It's really sad. I don't like it. I hate it here. I'm just really glad that the civilian assholes got impaled with hail.
We all are.
Yeah, so I'm sad. At least Raylla got to fix somebody in this episode.
I know. This one's sad though, because they really like set up this particular cadet as like, you know, Tally 2.0. She's like the wide-eyed.
That's why we knew she was gonna die.
I know. It's really sad because it's like it's symbolic in a way. It's not just losing the character you're attached to. It's like hope is being killed. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like, where it has the impact of being demoralizing to just everyone that's there. Because while they won the battle, quote unquote, against the Camarilla that Abigail killed, like it's like, did they win? Because like all these witches are being slaughtered still needlessly. So it's a impactful wake up moment for the unit who has to make like a tough decision now. Because like they're the reason this invasion's happening, basically. So yeah, it's very sad. But good on you, Cortez. Now you're with Libba in the mycelium afterlife.
Who will show you her Abigail shrine.
She will show you her shrine and be like, girl, just pick a cadet to obsess over and let's get you a shrine. Let's get going. Have you seen Thelma?
Have you seen? Oh God, I've seen Thelma.
I saw her across the border.
Saw her across. Yeah, I mean, that's enough to have a shrine, right?
Right, like just like, you know, could you imagine you're dying and you see like Thelma in the mist looking all glorious?
Holy crap!
What a vision! So think about that,
yeah.
Cortez. When you see Libba, that's what they're doing off screen.
That alone might kill me.
Right? The power of Bear Killer.
Yes.
Slaying ladies' hearts left and right. That's who she is. Let's be real. Speaking of lady killers, so I'm back in the cave.
The Cave of Wonders?
The Cave of Wonders. The Cave of Wonder is now the Cave of Doom, and it's like slowly collapsing onto Tally and Alder.
Elsa's like, F you guys.
Okay, yeah, literally. This is Elsa's fault. But like Tally is being Tally in this moment, even in like this moment of doom. Tally is empathizing with the frozen witch. Because she's like, think about it, Alder. Like, she's been lonely and depressed in this cave for like hundreds of years, and she went crazy, basically. And so like that must have been really hard. And so maybe like instead of seeing nothing, what if I gave her my sight as a trade so we can get the first song, you know, and that way she can see things past, present, and future and like not be crazy. Because apparently she's just stuck in the tomb and they can't get her out. I don't understand the laws of this magic, but I guess that's what's being implied here. But sure. And Tally's like, I get that this is a big sacrifice. I'd be giving up my sight, which has been stupidly helpful in all of this. And it seems really important, but like, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to do, because to get the first song, if it's as powerful as Alder's saying it is, it will stop this horrible vision I had of Raylla. It will save Raylla's life. It's going to save everybody's life. And Tally has this line that I really love where she says, like, what good is having sight if there's nothing to look forward to, you know? So basically Tally's like, I'd rather us capitalize on this chance to actually save the world than just have the ability to see it happen, basically, and be passive in it. And then Tally delivers the gayest line in this episode, where she says, besides, it might be good for me to see what's right in front of me for a change. And girl, you are literally staring at Alder as you're saying these words. It's like,
where was this realization when you were staring at Nicta?
Tally, look what's in front of you, girl. And of course, it doesn't just like end there. There's like gay staring that happens for a solid 2 seconds. Because subtext. And then Tally's like, cool, Alder. Now you know how I feel. Let me make that trade. And she makes the trade with the witch, and then becomes the steward of the first song and like relinquishes her sight to the former steward, I guess. So that's great. They got the piece of the first song that they were missing, but now the cave is officially collapsing. So they have to like scramble to get out of there. But the cave is made of ice, which is why the mycelium isn't there to transport them. So like the floor of this thing is collapsing because it's ice. And conveniently, the way out of the cave has collapsed. So they're trapped like in the middle, and they have like 3 seconds to figure out what to do. And ultimately, Alder sacrifices herself to save Tally, because Alder's primary mission was to save the stewards. Like, that's what the mother resurrected her to do. And Tally's like, you promised me that, like, you would, you know, we'd keep you safe and all this stuff. And Alder's like, listen, you're a steward now. My job is to save the stewards. So tough luck, Tally. And she, like, wind strikes her gently across, like, the crevasse that has formed and out of the cave, basically. And then the cave collapses in on Alder and seals her inside. So that's interesting, because Alder is also a steward.
A steward!
So like, if Alder's dead, the whole fucking thing doesn't work, because she's one of the stewards. So I don't fully understand the logic. No, but like, even if she's trapped, they need her to sing.
I know.
To do the first. So either way, this was like a zero-sum game, no matter who got out of the cave. Because either way, a steward is trapped in the cave. So it's romantic as fuck. That was the takeaway I got from this. Tally doesn't have her vision. She can see what's right in front of her, which is Alder. And then Alder saves Tally, and because homophobia. So that was the scene, basically.
Yeah, you know Alder's not dead. That bitch done die. She's not gonna die.
I know she's not dead, but like, they have to get her out of there to do the first song. And the mycelium can't get there, so we'll see how that goes out.
She'll have to appear via satellite from the Cave of Wonders.
Or they're gonna have to
sing her part.
They're gonna have to send a mission to the Cave of Wonders to dig her out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
know.
Joy.
Hey, guess what? We're gonna go back over to our fave Petra.
Woo!
Woohoo! She's getting ready to go, so she's all dressed in her. Oh, good.
It's combat Petra. Listen, with the braids? Oh my god.
As good as Petra / Catherine looks in that dress uniform, Jesus Christ on a cracker, holiday edition. She is hot as hell in that combat uniform with the braid. Oh!
Oh my god.
Woo!
Wow. Just wow. Just combat Petra. Just wow. Okay, just wow.
Can I have that action figure, please?
Yes, please. Combat Petra. It's everything.
I love how we're like gay thirsting over Abigail's mom.
Listen, I've been Team Petra this whole time. Petra's hot.
I love Petra much.
Ooh, so much.
She's our MILF in the show.
MILF. The MILF. Capital M. MILF. The MILF saved the day a lot of the times.
They do, yeah.
Top tier MILF.
Absolute.
Yes.
So she's getting ready to go, and Silver walks in again unannounced.
Was he just hanging out there? Like
he was. He never left.
I know. I don't think he ever left.
He's down in the basement with the bottles or something. I don't know.
He was no. Okay, wait. Spontaneous. Wait, spontaneous. What was Isadora doing off-screen moment? So you know how like Isadora has totally been harassing all the people that have been trying to get in the lab where Penelope's being held? Like she's keeping people out of there. So he's probably like, what the fuck do you mean you can't get in this lab? Like I'm the president, I'll get in there. And so like he has a face-off with Isadora where she pulls all her shit and scares the shit out of him. Where he's like, okay, fine, you don't need to go in that lab. We don't need to go in the lab. Fuck that lab. And then he's mad, so he goes to like take it out on Petra. And like that's how we get here. So yeah, he never left. Isadora was keeping him busy.
Or she had him in for tea, but the tea like made him go to sleep or something. But yeah, so she tells him that she's going to this session to deal with things directly, and he's like, no bitch, she's supposed to stay here. And she's like, but I'm supposed to stop playing it slow, so which one is it? Do you want me to do something, or do you want me to just sit here? They square off, and she obviously has more big witch energy than he does. So he asks where his buddy Jared is because he hasn't heard from him in a hot minute. Thank goodness. Jared comes out the door, a different door into the office. And Silver takes him aside and tells him that he needs to watch Petra because she's planning something. Petra's always planning something, you idiot. She's always 93 steps ahead of you. And he tells Jarrett to make sure the occupation continues. So Silver leaves after having that little chit-chat, and then we find out that Jarrett was actually Sterling in spree face the whole time.
I forgot that, like, all the spree stuff, because like when we saw the spree work happen, it was Anacostia doing it, so I didn't put together that like she taught Sterling off screen. I thought Isadora reanimated the corpse off screen, and that's how he was walking in. I was like, yeah, okay. So then when Sterling came on, I was like, oh, that would have made much more sense than where my brain took this scenario.
Hey, he could have been another Gollum, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting that like they don't, in public, it seems that they use a lot of that work to kind of like undo witches' work, like with the scanners and things like that. But they don't seem to have that technology in the army base, which I find interesting. So this kind of ruse would easily like work there. They're not using that stuff. So
I also love that cool. Sterling said that he didn't know how long he could stand having that prick's face.
I know.
I was like, word, Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling, you're a man that gets rights on this show, like Papa Color. We like you.
2 men out of a lot of the ones.
Adil, you used to get rights, but he's been a doormat this season. I think Abigail took your rights away this season.
Yeah, she did. It's so sad.
It's sad.
Yeah, so I really like that Scylla taught Anacostia this rework, who taught Sterling this. So really, once again,
saved
Scylla.
Everyone? Yeah, who saved everyone? Scylla Ramshorn fucking saved everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Anacostia, how did you track Nicta? With Scylla's teachings. Yeah. So weird how Scylla's impact affects everyone in a good way, isn't it?
It is. Gee.
If you're a Scylla hater, what are you doing listening to this podcast? Like, I hope we
Yeah.
like enlightened you with the fact that like she's not the bad guy and never really was, and is always saving everyone's ass. And you really wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for her saving everybody all the fucking time.
Yep.
Yep. So here's another instance of that happening. Thanks, Scylla.
Thank you, Scylla.
But speaking of Spree, we get to another random but delightful scene.
Yes.
Where Anacostia has her vacation days are basically coming to an end, so she has to get back to work. So she's casually driving around the session to go home, and on an old country road, she runs into a balloon creepily hanging out on the side of a road, which is never good in Motherland. No. So Anacostia's like, super suspicious balloon. Well, fuck. This thing might kill me. So she stops because she's smart. She's like, this isn't good. So let me assess the situation, and gets out of the car to go like figure out what the fuck's going on. And then Nicta comes out of the woods with her minions, who never talk. And basically she's like, listen, Anacostia, I'm gonna agree to help you, but in like the most dramatic way possible, because I'm Nicta Batan. Never fucking forget that. So she gives the speech where she's like, listen, the marshal for years has like tracked me when I didn't want to be tracked. So let's see how he likes it. And she pops the balloon, which releases a bat army, because I guess the bats were with her hiding in the tree. Like, okay, so Nicta had to set this whole shit up where she's like, bats, I need you guys to be at this location, just hide in the trees and chill for like an hour. And then we'll show up and like hide in the woods and put a balloon out and then wait. So they were probably there for like a good few hours before Anacostia actually showed up. You just have to love the extent that Nicta will go through just to be dramatic. Like, there was no need for any of this. But there is, because it's Nicta, and she never half-asses anything. She always goes over the top and is just dramatic for just no reason. And I love it. So this is how she is showing Anacostia, listen, I'll track them the marshal. My bats are going to look around the session with the sound I gave them. And if the marshal's here, we will find him. And we will find him. And then when we do, we can talk about my pardon. Okay? So it's basically, she's setting up the trade with Anacostia, like, quid pro quo, like, I'll find Wade for you via the marshal, and then you will pardon me of all my crimes so I can just live my life and everybody can leave me alone. And Anacostia seems like impressed and kind of like considering and being like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't know that she has that authority to like pardon Nicta, but you know, whatever. Seems like a fair trade to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think Anacostia has some influence at least, so. But sure. Whatever the case, she will, even if she didn't have any kind of power with that, she would just let Nicta believe that she did.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. I love that scene. It was a good one.
I love it. It's just classic Nicta. There was no need for any of that.
No, this is like 93 steps beyond the candles.
Right. It's just so extra. There was no need for this. But it's Nicta. So like it makes sense that she's like, okay, I've thought about it and I'm agreeing with your plan to go along with your plan.
It's like a scene out of a foreign film or something. Right.
We're gonna do this completely unnecessary thing for me to agree with you in this grand gesture of bats and balloons.
We're doing it my way. That's what that says to me.
That's what it, yeah, that is 100% the message. That is what she's saying.
Okay. So back at the hotel, the session hotel, Tally wakes up and it turns out they found her in the garden days ago, almost dead, basically. She tells them that Alder didn't make it and that they're one steward down. Listen, I need to know, has Scylla been holding that feeling that those entire, like, few days?
Listen, time in this episode doesn't make any sense. And, like, yeah. Does Scylla, like, because days, right? So they've been sleeping. So, like, does Scylla wake Raylla up and she's like, hey, what am I supposed to do with that feeling?
Yeah, like, was something supposed to happen here?
Yeah, like, she, like, brush her teeth and we're like, Raylla, that feeling. Or it's like later, you know. Just keep holding it.
Just keep holding it.
Keep holding it.
She's like, but
it's been 4 days,
I haven't seen you in a long time, and I have all this like super sexy gay energy. When are we gonna have that feeling?
Poor Thelma.
Or can I give you a feeling? Poor Scylla. Poor us that we don't even get that scene. I know someone's gonna write it in fan fiction, but still.
I know.
All right, so Abigail has an idea, and I'm not usually into Abigail's ideas.
No.
Not particularly into this one either. But because of the whole Lupe Cortez dying thing, Abigail has it in her head that if they surrender, everything will go peacefully after that. Did you learn nothing? That is not going to stop Silver and the Camarilla from fucking taking everything over.
That 100% agree with that. Again, this is like the Hail Mary with getting Wade also doesn't make sense to me for literally everything you just said. But also, point number 2, wasn't Tally's entire plot to get the first song so that the stewards can get all the pieces and sing the song? And if Tally is captured, now they can't sing the first song that's supposed to save the world. So it derails the other plot, which is the first song, by having them potentially execute Tally, who just went through great lengths to get that fucking song. It doesn't make any sense.
And they're going to surrender because Abigail feels guilty. It's basically the lie. It's basically the plot.
Stupid. Like, everyone's gonna die if Raylla's witch bomb goes off. But, like, Abigail doesn't believe in the witch bomb. Raylla doesn't fully believe in the witch bomb. So, like, why Tally goes along with this so easily, I don't understand. Because you literally just sacrificed Alder to get the first song piece. You're a steward now. So now's the time to surrender. Like, how Tally's brain gets there, I don't understand. Everyone else I can kind of see, but Tally I don't get getting to this conclusion so quickly, you know?
I realize that it's all going to work out because plot, whatever.
Right,
but
there's a plot.
It's they don't have these characters have no way to see that, so this is just coming off as dumb.
Yes, this has like when teenagers are in charge of saving the world energy and like have no perspective on anything.
Why are we still following Abigail like this?
Thank you. This doesn't make any sense. I understand her argument here, and she's right, because literally this entire time, like, everything could have been avoided if you guys would have given yourselves up like months ago. But here we are now, and it's like our game plan is get Wade, get the first song. But Abigail's like, well, people are dying now, we should give ourselves up. And it's like, you still didn't secure the 2 things that are gonna save everybody. Is this what a good leader does? Like, I don't, like, it's so short-sighted, in my opinion, this move. When they were, like, set on playing the long game and then just went back to the short game. Like, it's very weird. I don't get why they all agreed on this. Personally.
Me either. We know Tally's the one that really mystifies me on why she would agree to it. Raylla, I guess, she's been in the effing mycelium for however long, sleeping, so I guess give her a pass. Scylla's still holding on to the feeling, so she can't think about anything else logically.
Correct, yes. Correct,
so she's just going to follow Raylla wherever she goes.
Correct.
Because that's also her plot for this season.
That is her plot, exactly. And just like, and Raylla has been just like a zombie following Abigail this season too. Tally's the one that mystifies me. But whatever. Did
she not like get her like big witch energy back in the beginning of the episode and just lose it again?
I know. I don't. Is she just like upset because Alder died? And so then like she's more empathetic to like Abigail's sob story about Cortez. And she's like, oh, people are dying like Alder. Let's give ourselves, I don't know. Like I can see Tally doing that. Maybe.
Or she just woke up from whatever coma sleep she was in from almost dying, and she's not in her right mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, this was the wrong time to have this conversation with Tally.
Yeah.
He literally woke up from a coma. You know what I mean? She's like, what? It's been 4 days. Surrender. Yeah, Tally didn't know what the fuck was going on in the scene. Let's be honest. How could she?
No.
Whatever.
Okay, sure, whatever.
Sure. It needed to be said.
How many more Lupe Cortezes have to die? And then Abigail's like, we're probably all gonna die, but, you know, we should return this favor to the session. If we surrender, there'll be some peace, hopefully. So we, even if, you know, we have to try. No, we don't, but whatever.
No, we don't.
We started this together. We should end it together. And Scylla says she's not leaving Raylla. We knew that was coming. They all hug, a la the same
Aerial
type
shot.
of situation, aerial shot from season 1 where Tally was it season 1 or season 2?
Season 2 where season 1 they have the shot where they're doing the who did you lose with the fire thing. Then season 2 was the
I was talking about the one where Tally's in the
infirmary. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So they recreated that.
We have Scylla now.
Who was Scylla?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. I guess if I get to see Scylla in uniform again, I'm here for that.
Yeah, this doesn't make any goddamn sense, but sure. Sure. And we got our obligatory, aerial hug shot of everybody that we get every season. So that was the main takeaway, honestly, from the scene. And so
that was the reason for that scene.
That was actually the reason for that scene, like 100% correct. And then we get from the penultimate scene, we go to the final scene of the episode, which is the scene of goodbyes and surrender. So we shoot on over to the border where the U.S. Army and now combat Petra are waiting for the fugitives to give themselves up. And Petra has invited the news, all of them, to be here for this. Because if there's recorded evidence of the fugitives giving themselves up, you cannot really skew that very easily and twist that into like, oh, they're being, hostile and blah, blah, blah. And like, they can peacefully obtain them without Silver's bullshit, which was just like, kill everybody. Because basically when we saw Raylla come back, even when they identified Tally as a fugitive, the Camarilla guys were like, well, let's just kill her. So like, their goal is just to kill them and just use the witch hunt of the fugitives to keep the session shit going, to occupy them. So Petra's like, I want it on film, then we can end the bloodshed, basically. So this has Petra written all over it because it's very, very, very strategic. And so in this scene, basically everybody says goodbye. Here's the rundown of who says goodbye to who before we get into it. Abigail says goodbye to Thelma. Then Abigail says goodbye to Adele. Then Raylla and Scylla have a sidebar, and Tally stands there awkwardly because she's super single and has no one in this moment. It's very sad. So when Abigail says goodbye to Thelma, basically Thelma's going to stay behind with her militia and just like she gets the session back, but like they're obviously going to like be on guard because the camera is not going anywhere just because the fugitives are gone. So that's cool. And like they say goodbye. And what I love about the scene is that Abigail is a decent human being in this moment and like actually says goodbye to Thelma or in her native tongue, but like not goodbye necessarily, but it's like the language's version of goodbye, which is like, I'll see you again, basically, which is a very nice touch because this is something like Adele would have done. And it's like Wade would have done. And it's actually what good leaders do. So it was a nice touch and a sign of respect for Thelma from Abigail. So if there is an America and like a future coming out of this, there's an alliance they're forming like for real beyond this conflict. So that was really good. And then obviously meant a lot to Thelma because like sign of respect. So that was really great. After that, Abigail and Adele have their goodbye, which, okay. It starts off with Abigail being like, all right, Adele, no breaking me out of jail, and like there's no fighting. And I love that this is the first thing she says to him because like, again, who is Adele, really? Like, it's just like no violence to the pacifist. Love it. His job is to go find Khalida and not cause trouble. And Adele's like, fine, I promise not to intervene in any of this to get you back, as long as you promise to come back to like me and Kalita, basically. And then they exchange I love yous and then platonically kiss each other.
What was that?
There is okay. It's really funny you brought up like Raylla's lack of urgency when it came to Scylla, but like this kiss has no urgency at all, like none whatsoever. It's like kind of tender and loving, but like does not reflect the reality of this situation that like
No.
your girlfriend's about to get arrested for like treason and shit and go to trial and possibly get killed. There's no like urgency whatsoever, which honestly kind of sums up their relationship this season, where it's like out of touch with the situation at hand. But sure.
At least they didn't mention having children.
I know.
Role play.
And at least Abigail didn't drop on I'm pregnant here or something ridiculous. So thanks for that. But like, okay, what a contrast to like Raylla and Scylla's sidebar.
I know. It's just like there's like no passion or anything there.
No, again, there's
to start with.
Right. I'm not saying they don't love each other. There's tenderness in the moment, but there's no like this is our last goodbye, like I may not see you again kind of feeling to it. It's just
Raylla and Scylla aren't even really saying goodbye either. So
their sidebar is wild. So like it doesn't make sense either. Like they're on two sides of the reality spectrum here. Okay. So there's Abigail and Adil are saying goodbye to each other. Like one of them's going to work and we'll be back later.
I was going to say like one of them's going to the store to pick up burgers to grill later.
Yeah. It's like what me and my wife do every morning. It's like, I'll see you later. Love you kind of thing. That's what they're doing. Whereas Raylla and Scylla have this sidebar. Like the world is actively ending right now, which is more appropriate for the situation, but still extreme. So Scylla, okay, is holding on to all of her feelings right now because Raylla told her to. And so they start oozing out of her right now. And she starts freaking the fuck out because that's what this situation demands. This is an appropriate response to this situation they're in right now. And she starts freaking the fuck out because literally this episode started with her about to be executed and then she wasn't. And now they're both about to potentially get executed by the government. So, like, she went from one execution to, like, another, and now Raylla's potentially going to die. So, like, Scylla's freaking the fuck out, as she should be. And Raylla tries to calm her down as best she can by essentially, like, first making it worse and then, like, making it better. By basically telling Scylla, listen, I'm not immortal anymore. So, like, reinforcing the reality of, like, yes, we both might die in this situation. But she's like, I knew that before I came out of the mycelium. And even though it's, you know, scary because of death, like, it didn't really scare me because I knew I'd be coming back to you, basically. And, like, not being with you is scarier than dying is basically what she's, like, saying here. Or, like, you're worth potentially losing my immortality gift that I had, kind of thing. And that helps ground Scylla and kind of, like, put the perilous situation into perspective. That it's like, hey, you know, this sucks, but at least we're together in our darkest hour kind of thing. And Scylla kind of gets that, but she, like, laments over, like, the crux of all of this, which is, like, I wish we had more time because we never get to have time because there's always something getting in the way and, like, trying to keep us apart. And, ma'am, that thing is Elliot Lawrence, and he's been here the whole fucking time. Giving you no time and trauma and reasons to be in therapy. And he wrote the situation probably. So that is why there is something always in the way, because there actually is. You are right. Break the fourth wall and find out what it is. But regardless, Raylla in this moment has calmed down Scylla, and Scylla opens the door of, like, we have no time, something's trying to keep us apart, and Raylla summons all of her lesbian Jesus energy and pulls the biggest lesbian move ever by, like, assuaging Scylla's fears by just being like, let's get married. That's her solution to this whole situation, which Scylla obviously says yes, and then looks like the happiest person that's ever been on this show. Honestly, it's like the happiest anyone on the show has ever been is, like, Scylla's face journey after Raylla asks for this and after she says yes. And then they kiss, and Raylla it doesn't attack her. There's no face attacking. It's like an actual, like, yay, passionate kiss that they have. And Raylla gives Scylla this gold little mushroom ring and then like kisses the ring. And so it's like, and they gay stare. So it's very cute and like appropriate for the moment they're in. However, we need to take a moment to talk about like what just happened here, because while it is the biggest lesbian Jesus move ever, like they're 19 and at most they've been dating like 6 months. So of course proposing like had to come from Raylla because Raylla is the lesbian here. And so she pulls this lesbian move by being like, all right, let's skip all the relationship milestones and just jump right to marriage immediately. And this is just like peak lesbian behavior on the lesbian Jesus scale. That's all I gotta say. So like hydrate for lesbian Jesus, because this is the most lesbian Jesus thing like ever. My girlfriend of 6 months and I, we're about to die. Let's get married when we survive this thing. Gotta respect her lesbian Jesus powers.
At least she didn't bring a U-Haul.
That's what I mean. She skipped the U-Haul. She skipped all of those things. She skipped the moving in together. She skipped the U-Hauling.
Okay, fine. At least she didn't bring a turkey baster.
She skipped that too. She's just like, she jumped right to marriage. Like, you gotta respect it. They've been together 6 months, guys. I need to keep putting that out here. We started the show in spring. It is now summer. It's been 6 months. That's the time period.
I think she's like, listen, yeah, we're gonna die. I know I want to marry you anyway because I'm 19 and lesbian Jesus. So
yeah,
let's do that.
That is the whole scene. That is what just happened here.
I will say, going back to your point of Scylla looking like the happiest character on the show ever, there are only a few scenes in which Scylla ever smiles with her teeth. And every time that she does, she's speaking to a caller. Edwin gets it one time, and the rest of the time it's Raylla. So good. Really the only people that have ever managed to make Scylla that happy are callers. I'm with you on they skipped a lot of steps scale, but I don't know. I kind of see it. Thought it was super romantic. It made sense to me that Raylla would do that because she's Raylla. I always knew she'd propose by the end of this damn show. She should have been in like season 7 instead of season 3.
Yeah, I understand why it got put here. I have to bring up the reality of the situation. Mm-hmm. They're 19 and it's been 6 months. It's on par for lesbians, is what I'm saying. Which is why, it had to be Raylla. Scylla would have waited at least like a couple of years. Raylla is lesbian Jesus. She's like, no, it's been a week. Let's do it. Yeah. I already know.
I'm 19, you're 20. It'll work, right? Yeah. It's just they're going to live with Papa Collar. That's what's going to happen.
They're going to go annex in Quinn's mansion.
Yeah.
She don't need that big house to herself.
No.
So, that's fine. Raylla has already Raylla hasn't even seen the house, but she knows through, like, my Salem stuff. So,
absolutely.
It'll be fine. But yeah, peak lesbian Jesus behavior in the scene. But you have to love the weird dichotomy of, like, Abigail and Adil and Raylla and so, because again, Abigail and Adil, like, halfway through this season, the first half of the season, already jumped to kids. Like, they didn't get to the marriage piece. They just jumped to having offspring. And they've known each other less time than Raylla and Scylla. And then Raylla, like, the timelines are wild. And then they say goodbye in the scene, again, like, they're going to see each other later that evening. And then Raylla and Scylla are like, okay, yeah, this could be the end. We might die. But, like, hey, to give us hope, like, and something to look forward to in the darkest hour, let's, like, look to the future and, like, let's get married and, like, give us something to hope for, you know?
Here's the ring my mom gave me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like those two couples are handling this very differently, and it's interesting because they've both been leapfrogging, like, throughout this season in terms of, like, their relationship progression. Because again, no one has time because of the freeform, really. Not really Elliot's fault, but It's
Also,
weird the way they both say goodbye here, to be quite honest with you. The two couples do it very differently, and it's weird.
I want to also point out the Rails starts this off with the "Hey, look at me" when she's calming Scylla down, which is what she says every time she's calming Scylla down. And I think it's cute because she said it in the boat scene too.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, again, she's like Scylla's grounding force, and like all her memories were of Scylla or of Raylla to like in the linking. So that's the grounding thing. It's like, stop your brain. I guess Scylla's one of those people that, like, when she's freaking out, her brain is going in a million directions, and Raylla kind of knows that. So she's like, hey, focus on one thing. Just focus on me. Stop your brain. Like, just focus. And it works. So she obviously knows her very well.
Yep. In the 6 months.
In their 6 months. So, yes, after all those goodbyes, then the core four line up in descending height order, like they always do. And they link hands and then cross the border and hand themselves over to Petra. And Petra, like, as they're approaching, looks really conflicted. Like, she almost looks like proud of Abigail, but then like terrified again of the reality of the situation, that like they're going to go on trial for this and it may not work out. So it's scary for Petra as like a mother, but like there's a lot going on. Like now the occupation can be over, but it's a lot. It's good and bad. And so you see all of that on Petra's face as this is happening. And when it's over, she announces to the press and to everybody there, like, we have the fugitives now. We've apprehended them. That was literally the president's order. So this occupation is now over. Like, we completed the president's mission. So we can leave now. And so, like, this conflict has now ended. So, you know, Abigail got her wish at the end of the day. The occupation has now ended because they were the mission that got them all in there.
Yep. I like that that's the end of the episode is the occupation is over.
Yeah.
Credits.
Yeah, it's like a mission accomplished, but like a bittersweet one, basically.
Yeah. So, recap.
Caitlin, wake up. It's time to wake up, Caitlin.
No, Caitlin's not there.
Oh, where'd she go?
Caitlin had to go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, drop her mom off.
Okay. No, we're going to do Caitlin's corner.
Yeah, we're doing Caitlin's corner.
Yeah.
We'll do it at some point.
We'll do Caitlin's corner. Yeah. That'd be a mess.
Give us your notes.
Guess what's on her notes?
I know part of what's in her notes, so.
Yes.
She's talking about ratings.
Fuck yeah, she is. Yeah. Yeah, so recap
time. Recap. Here we go. Tally and Alder go to a cave in northern Germany to find the steward who's been alone and sad for a long-ass time. It's Elsa. Tally trades her sight for the piece of the song and the cave collapses. Alder strikes Tally to safety but is trapped, her fate unknown. In the Cave of Wonders. Silver keeps surprise visiting Petra, who likes this habit about as much as Silver likes her whiskey. Raylla, Abigail, and Adil go rescue Scylla because she's one of them now, and otherwise there'd be no one to save them.
Yes!
Raylla's got her groove back and sasses her way through threatening the guy who's about to kill her girlfriend, who joins in to convince him to unchain her. They reunite for 2 seconds, and Scylla has held that feeling for about a week.
Yeah.
Anacostia tracks down Nycta, and they have a big witch energy off repeatedly until Nycta gives in and says she'll help find the marshal, but it'll be her way, and she gets a pardon. Petra uses her favorite pen to give Jarrett a heart attack, basically.
Woo!
Kills that mother flapper. The civilians / Camarilla are now killing army witches out in the open for disobeying their orders. Gross. Yeah. The core four decide to give themselves up. It doesn't make sense. But maybe there'll be some kind of peace for a hot minute. Raylla pops the question and Scylla says yes because that's the only answer she'd ever give to that question. Once again, Adil is weird. Can he stop vacillating between doormat and violence boy.
Yes! Seriously. Pick a lane, man.
Petra declares that the occupation is over.
The end.
The end.
Well done. Great recap.
Thank you. I have to sprinkle in a little bit of... I just can't with some of this stuff.
I know, I am with you on that. There were choices made this season I'll never quite understand.
And I think a lot of it has to do with trying to figure out how to get everything done, considering the hell that they had, going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I know. It was... So much shit happened behind the scenes. It made this very difficult. We're lucky we got a season at all, honestly.
We are. That's what I was like, we're lucky we got season 3, honestly, because if they could have just threw up their hands, like when Taylor had her accident.
Yeah, I know. To lose one of your main stars immediately and have to rewrite 90% of the season. That's not nothing,
No.
Yeah.
But I think you get, it's just... There's a lot of stuff that people in the fandom don't know about that went on that just made this season really hard to film. So I just hope that everyone appreciates what we did get and what we are getting. So, and hopefully we'll have season 4 and we won't have to, they'll have time and money.
Yeah. I mean, that is the hope. So, yeah. It's okay to be frustrated, but
Yeah. Have your feelings.
Yeah,
just
your feelings are valid.
Don't be super duper negative at the.
Don't blame the creators. They did their best. But yeah, frustration. We get frustrated too.
You can tell we got frustrated during this episode.
If you've listened to these episodes, we're definitely frustrated, but empathetic to how we got here.
Empathetic to the plight of everyone creating the show.
Exactly. Yeah, it was not nothing.
Are we sure we're ready for this?
No.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
It's 1:30. I mean, how
are
long did
you
you
ready
guys...
for this?
No.
Are you ever ready for it?
No.
Then we're ready.
Yeah. No.
So welcome to Caitlin's Corner. Here we are.
I missed the ending of the last part of this video. How long did you record for?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Frick. Okay. Okay. Fun.
That's okay.
I
have to stay up because there's strange men installing internet in my house still. So talk away.
Yeah, maybe if there were strange women, it would be better, but
I'd be outside if there were strange women installing things in my home.
And how would Julie feel about that?
I'd be feeding them and things.
Okay, Raylla. Anyway, Caitlin's Corner!
I just read my last one. I sound drunk, but that's not what I was going to say. I watched the episode Wednesday morning, and I took notes while I was watching, and did not look at them again.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Sorry. Already good.
Already?
Okay, so we all know how the episode starts.
Yeah.
We were there.
I did not. I thought of The Sound of Music, but I didn't.
What did you get?
What in the once upon a time hell is this? Tally, darling, I love that you are trying to help, but you can't change the past, because she just goes in and yells, stop.
I know. She tries to grab her, too.
Yeah.
She forgot how her powers were.
I actually screamed it. Thank you, Adil. You are finally helpful, because he was like, you really sure this first song's gonna work? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it for the rest of the season.
Shining moment. That was it.
We love you, Tony.
Adil. What happened,
I think
boy?
Tony would
Okay.
probably agree with you.
Yeah.
Actually.
I really want to talk to him.
I really do too.
Oh, I love this scene. That's literally what it says. Our little trio. Oh, it's not done. Our little trio playfully bickering. Tally is just too powerful and can see everything. Also, Abigail, Tally is not a jerk. You shut your mouth. That was a very long thought. I'm sorry. I'm glad they finally gave Jess a coat. They had her standing out there without a coat. At one point, you see her like gripping her sleeves and just like going straight down with her arms. She's so cold.
Aw.
I didn't do the calculation what negative 14 degrees Celsius is in Fahrenheit.
It's like.
Me neither, but it sounds cold as fuck.
Hold on.
Okay. I just got lost in my notes, and then I was just like, I had to read up, and I was just like, oh, it's one thing after another. It's just
7 degrees.
7 degrees. My God. Put a coat on her. She's too precious. Screw you, red dudes.
Yeah.
I want to punch Silver in the face.
Get in line.
Seriously, was this height difference always this obvious? Ashley towers
She's so tall.
Taylor. But, like, it was never this bad.
I feel like Taylor had to be standing on stuff, or like they would have lots of scenes where they're sitting and you don't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to go back and watch a show now.
I know. You keep pointing it out.
Because
I know.
the camera's literally looking up this episode.
I know.
Like, Abigail doesn't deserve that power.
No.
I'm sorry. Ashley, come on in and make us love her. I don't know what this means.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, I get the first.
Let's see if I can decipher it.
The doormat.
So Adele.
Okay.
Yes, Adele. The doormat has to go too, right?
Oh, I guess when they're leaving to go save Scylla, and you're like, I guess the doormat's going with them, maybe.
They're not to that point yet, are they? Oh, maybe they are, yeah. No, they're getting intel.
No.
Wait,
I
they're still in the session house in Caitlin's notes.
Wait, are you talking about when they're talking about going to rescue Scylla?
I don't know.
We'll never know. What's after that?
Yeah, probably.
I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, what's
kind of
after
like-
that?
I kind of. Would you let me get it out? Like, I try to talk all the time, and Bree just like starts with her fancy microphone over there and just completely bulldozes me.
Microphone.
I know, but yours is louder. It's true. It's not your fault. It's true.
Listen, Theora.
No, like your microphone works really, really well, and then your internet works really, really well. So it's like super powerful stuff you got going on there. I'm saying. I'm jealous. Trying to get on your level.
You'll get there.
The only thing I got going for me is my supercomputer I built.
Fuck
And that
yeah.
doesn't help here. It only helps with editing.
Hey, it helps.
My nose is itchy.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Okay, so what's
Okay.
the next note?
I just read so many things at once. I kind of like seeing Nicta and Acacia piss each other off.
Fuck
Okay, so it was when they were talking about going to rescue Scylla.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Does the doormat have to go too? Yeah.
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 I like Drunkadil.
Me too. I love Drunkadil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think okay. I got I get it now. All right. This next one. Get your paw off Tally.
Yeah.
The frozen lich.
Yeah. Elsa reaching out to grab Tally's head and possess her.
Wait, hold on. Shut up.
There's so much anger in this corner.
It's just my
I know. It's okay, Caitlin.
my natural state when I'm tired. I turn into a toddler.
It's okay.
Oh,
We get it.
never mind. That's another topic. I've got lots of issues.
We love you.
Okay, this is another one. I love you so much. Like, I just love the two of you. And
We
I
love
just
you
really
too.
want to hug you. And I get off topic really easily. I'm a sucky producer, but like we really
Shut up. You're a great producer. We're all
Yeah,
just
shut
really
up.
bad at staying on topic.
we
Which is
really should meet one day.
We will.
I mean, Theora, you and I have met.
Yes.
Yeah, I met Bree in person, but Bree met Theora first, but they didn't meet in person. So who can follow that timeline?
This time, Caitlin. That's what we learned this episode.
Yeah,
What
we
even
learned
is
that
it?
time doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We're leaving the diner still.
If
Yeah.
I could turn back time. Okay. That's
It's a great song.
yeah. I mean, that's the only part I know. I mean, if I could find a way, that's it.
So
And it
Elsa,
sounds just-
she-
okay. I was trying. Oh, my brain's going so many different ways.
Get your paw off, Tally.
Yeah, no, I got the next one. I know which one is to say it, but I'm trying to get the energy to say it how I wrote it.
Oh. Makes sense.
Okay. I need to wake up for the written notes. Oh my gosh, is this the possession? With 4 exclamation points.
Yes.
And then my phone added possession with 4 exclamation points after that. So I was really
possession. Possession
damn,
in the
well,
session.
Okay. Oh, I know what that's to now. Well, okay. That's when Tally turns into Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Elsa?
god, this scene reminds me of my summers in high school.
What?
Where you were chained up in front of some scenery?
Are possessed by
No.
a witch?
No, actually, I was almost accidentally hung. Not really, but like kind of choked. I had a rope around my neck, and I was a cow in Into the Woods. I believe I mentioned this before. And the kid who was like dragging me across it, I could not crawl that fast.
Aww.
I had to have knee pads and everything. So he was like literally, I was like the whole time, and then that was an interesting role.
So you almost got choked out on stage, which
really?
is somewhat similar to what Scylla experienced.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stories. Terrible aim, dude.
Yeah.
I know, he straight up missed
Yeah.
her. After bragging. She was like, okay.
Play ball.
Well, you know what you're doing.
Yay.
Is that the kiss? I guess.
Raylla came in.
No, that's when she walked into
Oh, okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
room. The best use of "You know who I am."
Oh, yeah, it was. Like, usually when
Yeah.
somebody says, "Do you know who I am?" I want to punch them in the face. But Raylla,
Like you know who I am, right?
that whole scene was sexy with,
Yeah.
like, Taylor,
It
girl!
was so great.
She had her
I just-
swagger back.
You did.
Caitlin's gonna punch me.
I love you.
I love you
Just wait
too.
till I see you in person.
That was like horror movie level right there.
Oh, I got a story about that too. I can
Oh,
tell you
no.
later if you want. Oh, I made some people pee their pants.
All right, well, we will be hearing that story later.
Yes.
If anyone else wants to know, maybe we can tell you when something happens. No.
I'm so scared.
I have no idea what's going on.
No one.
Well, I mean,
What's the next note?
Scylla's still chained up, so what's the next
Yes.
note?
What's next?
No, I know where I am in the show. I just have no idea what I am.
That's a big question, man.
Yeah, that's existential shit.
Yeah, it is.
I just like okay. I just work here.
Is that your note? Ha ha ha! I love it.
That was a lot easier than it really should have been. Like, they just kind of walked
They
in,
did.
got Scylla, and just took her out.
Yep.
Like, what?
The Kimmery is
How is
suck,
that so
apparently.
easy? All of a sudden?
All of a
Like,
sudden,
they're
yeah.
doing so great with the soldiers, but...
I don't think they're good at security because they broke in, you know, we had the book club too.
Guys, I know you love each other, but there is an alarm going off.
Well, that's why she has to hold that feeling.
Right.
But I wrote this before she said that, so deal with it.
For a week.
Go, Olivia!
Yes.
Yes, and all the ways.
My god, why are you hurting the people you need to fight for you? That was to the red people, to the...
Because they don't
to
need
the
them. That's why.
soldiers.
Nor do they
They're
want them.
assholes.
They're dicks.
Damn, Petra.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think it's the theme song playing when he dies. He's like, yeah, witches still got it. Asshole.
I didn't even catch that. How patriotic.
No. Cortez better be alive.
I know.
It's just hail, walk it off, soldier, mocking tone. Oh, hold on. Hold on. No, this was the stage direction. It's just hail, walk it off, soldier. Because to the lady said it to the guy. So
Yeah, to her.
Yeah, that was I should have put it in like little asterisks. Why didn't Abigail do that before all the soldiers got hurt?
Yeah, that was
Thank
also
you.
my question.
Thank you. Yes.
No. It's so upsetting, but I don't know. Because I keep calling her Tally 2.0. Oh no, this isn't about Tally 2.0. But I'm. Come on.
Oh my god! This is such a mess!
Does it record like that?
Oh my god, it's amazing!
Yes.
Wait till you see T and Keenan's interview. Oh god. Okay. Where the heck was I? Oh, I was getting pissed off at Tally 2.0. Like, come on. I'm very protective of her as well, okay?
Of course.
Do not mess with my Tallies. Also, I feel bad calling her Tally 2.0 because she really is her own, but she's just another little sweetie one, and I just want to hug.
I know. She's very lovable and bubbly and so sad.
And she had so much life in her.
She did. It was very cruel.
I'm really this episode made me so empty, and I think this is part of the reason why. I was so sad.
All the Tallies lost this episode. You know.
Oh my god, yeah, that also. Okay, this is the next part. No, Tally. Like, I mean, I know the site isn't her. Like, that's not who she is. But like, I don't know. I feel like a huge part of her is missing now.
I agree. Like, that was her natural like gift. Was like that knower ability.
That was her thing.
Yeah. So like it
was. What does she do now?
Yeah. No, truly.
Like, she has the song, but like after that's completed, now what for Tally?
She'll wind strike people like everyone
You know
else.
what? I wonder if, like, Isadora and her gonna have, like, these, like, little training sessions afterwards. And I know Isadora's necro, but, she'll just probably be, like, training her, being like, okay, if you stare really hard at this brick wall, oh my god, you have so much chemistry with this big rock. Anyway,
this would 1000% be an Isadora lesson that just dissolves into this.
So Tally's gonna seduce brick walls.
Yeah, but you're gonna look past it, and you're gonna see the little termites having a party inside.
So she's got X-ray vision.
I'm sorry, my brain just fried.
I love that.
I'm so tired.
I mean, Tally could use that gift on the matrifocal compound.
Wait, did I say damn Petra again? No, I just went backwards.
I mean, we can say it a lot of times. It applies to many scenes. Damn, Petra.
Punch him, Petra. What was that too?
Silver, probably.
Yeah, Silver.
Oh, yeah, probably.
He's the most punchable.
Oh my gosh, they are back. Who are back? Oh my gosh, they are back.
The Camarilla people.
Who are back?
Back again.
No.
The balloons, the bats,
the boys are back. The boys are back. I have no idea. Who is
Sterling?
Okay,
no, we're not there yet.
Oh my gosh.
I assume it's Garrett and all those assholes. I don't remember what was after that.
No, because it's they. They are back. Wait a minute. Did Lynn die? That was to something else.
Yes.
That's inside. That you know. They don't know.
I don't know.
That we know, they know, they don't know.
Wait, say it again?
Bree doesn't
Wait
know.
a minute, did Lynn die?
Oh, I get it now. I thought that too.
Yeah, I was like, shit. But, no.
No.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I have to, like, think of what these mean while I'm reading it. I'm sorry. I still think it is too soon. That proposal, like, I understand, like, it's the danger and, like, you just...
They're 19.
There's so much going on.
I think it's a lot of fan service as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I like it in one way, but not... I hate that people feel like they need to. And unfortunately, they do, because then the people go batshit.
I know.
They just become part of Nicta's army. Quite literally. What the hell? It's over?
Yeah.
It caught me so off guard this time.
As soon as Petra said that, though, I was like, that's the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't prepared. Okay. So, Sandra Ferens. I made an...
What a segue. She wasn't even in this episode. I love it. Like, anyway, so... Fuck that. Sandra Ferens.
I had an epiphany, and also because T and Keenan brought it up, but like not directly to like this part of it. And if you made it this far and can understand what I'm saying, tell me what I mean.
Send help to Caitlin.
So yeah, Sandra. Quinn bought a house. We all know this. Why did she buy a house? Because they had to film other scenes at the house. And do we remember what I brought up for book club? That it looked like the house when Raylla and Tally went back to the session?
Yep.
It's because it was, because that was Quinn's house.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so proud of myself.
Good job.
I mean, technically it was not confirmed, but like, I mean, that's the only thing that I think it could be. Okay.
That's a good one.
That was the last thing on here. But we have 3 or 4 pages on here. This is the education portion of this. And I don't know if anyone's going to care. Maybe like 3 people?
We care.
I'm just move my mouse. So I need to be coherent. Excuse me. I saw a tweet. And the person tweeted about the ratings and with a screenshot. And I just feel like I need to go over these ratings things and explain how it all works. Because there's so much confusion. And we actually don't have as much power as you think we do. Where the hell was I?
Explaining the ratings.
We don't have as much power as they think. Yeah.
We really don't. I mean, we do and we don't. But I will get to that. All right. So the ratings are mostly when you getting angry with myself.
Don't do that.
You got it.
That was me waking myself up. Crystal.
The ratings. We don't have as much power as we think we do, but we kind of do, but we don't.
So existential.
Oh, I got that part. I'm sorry. I hit the table a bunch of times. Okay. When you hear ratings, people are most likely talking about Nielsen ratings. And now, Nielsen ratings are based off of Nielsen households. And the households are randomly selected. Supposedly. Because then I also read that they seek households to reflect the nation's consumers, gender, race, age, ethnicity, location, and economic status. But it's based on the census data. So they try to make it as even as possible and representative of the whole population of America. I didn't get to global. If you guys find this interesting, I can research more because I definitely have a lot more to talk about, but we're not even like halfway through the first page. So there's about 42,000 households for Nielsen ratings with 120,000 total televisions, which means the average home has 2.86 televisions. In America, there's estimated 122.4 million homes with a TV in 2022. And the Nielsen homes participate for a maximum of 2 years because after that, they're more likely to like get fatigue of it and not accurately report their viewing habits. These notes are all over the place. I'm sorry. I know what I should talk about next, but that's not what's next.
Wait, I have a question. So with the Nielsen study, are the participants like actually study participants where they have to like log like viewing hours and like what they were watching, or is it something where like their TVs are like or boxes or whatever are monitored for them kind of thing?
So yeah, that's what I should talk about next, but I have a line in between those.
Oh, sorry. I was curious.
No, it's okay. Well, they started they start tracking streaming video on demand through measuring content that passes through the home's internet router. And it's not about how many people watch rather than who. So like your whole family could watch, but like in different places, because just say there's a wide range of people. But really, for Freeform, they are 18 to 34 demographic, which means all adults age 18 to 34. They're more primarily women, but that's a whole nother conversation. I know too much. I went to school for this. I've had many class. Oh, okay. I know I'm getting off topic, but look, this was one of my textbooks. I read parts of this for the first time today.
Love it.
I just wanted to share that. Advertisers typically want the 18 to 49 demographic. How does Nielsen track the household? There's a master unit connected to the primary TV, and anything viewed is recorded. And I found out today that like programs emit like this high frequency signal every 2 seconds, so it picks that up.
Huh. Okay. So they monitor for you doing that. That's interesting. So you can't like say you were watching something. They know.
Well, according to this book that was published in 2005. Yeah, because in 17, 18, that's totally relevant now. They started, well, they didn't start, but like they were doing
right,
like paper,
exactly.
But people were not actually sending them in too much, and they would like miss data.
Yeah,
so it's better this way.
It sounded like that's where the fatigue part would come in too, like if you had to like physically log everything.
This next part as well. Each member of the household hits a button when they start and stop watching. So if you have a child watching TV, you have to hit when they start and stop. So they will know if you use it as a babysitter.
Parent shaming.
Oh, I'm not. I sit the kid.
No. I mean, like
in front of
the study is parent shaming.
They are not. They don't care because illegal streams, shared sign-ins, stolen Wi-Fi doesn't matter. They report without judgment. It's literally what their website says.
Thank you, science.
So steal everything. Apparently. In 2002, it's not 2002.
I wish.
It's 2022.
It's 2022.
It is predicted something's predicted to spend $65.1 billion on linear TV. Those are ads, by the way, not, I don't know. And linear TV means like cable, stuff like that.
Okay.
Not like streaming. But Nielsen had an issue during the pandemic, and things got messed up because the like maintenance crews couldn't get to households. So they underreported ratings for an entire year. And people were pissed. So I'm interested to see how this is really going to... Like, Nielsen has had to adapt really quickly over the years. And they're always trying to improve it. It's very difficult. It becomes increasingly difficult with every day that passes. That's all I have for Nielsen, but we're not done yet. Because now we're going to Freeform. And now, this whole day, I did this all day. Like, I had this idea in the morning, and then I did a bunch of research. So I went to school for entertainment arts management. I did basically almost every project on Freeform. Well, there's one on Disney Channel, but I was obsessed with Pretty Little Liars, so like one quarter it was just like, I don't know, I had 3 different classes all talking about Pretty Little Liars. Don't know how I did it, but it was fun.
Nice.
But I also really wanted to work there. And I still kind of do. So, you know, if any of our buddies that we've interviewed are listening and want to help me out, I don't think you have any connections to where I would need it, but...
Caitlin's for hire.
And if my current boss is listening to this...
Caitlin's not
no,
for hire.
you're not. Oh, the whole reason I brought Freeform, I promise. If you're listening, I know this is like so dry right now because it's Bree's not arguing with me. So
I'm like just nicely listening to your.
I know.
You always want me to listen to you, and now I am.
listening. I feel like people are gonna get so bored with this.
No.
But
We
Freeform,
need
why
to
do
know.
they cancel shows? That's like the big question everyone has, right? And I have been thinking about this all day. Long story short, I still cannot figure it out. But we will go in depth a little bit.
Let's do it.
Why do they cancel shows? Don't know for sure. The ratings play a part, like a big part. A big part. This is later in here, but I think I need to talk about this now. Remember when I mentioned Nielsen households? Yeah, they're the only people whose viewing actually counts.
Yeah.
So you guys watching it live does nothing. I mean, watch it live still, because live tweeting and... But I will show you, if you want to watch it live, how it will help more later. Not show, but tell. Yeah, just listen to me. The heads of... these are still the reasons why they might cancel a show. Heads of network may have a plan that doesn't include it. So they always get bright ideas and like, we're going to revamp the entire station. Which is why Freeform is now Freeform and not ABC Family. Or there was actually another name before that, but that's stop trying to fit 4 years of school into this one podcast. Okay. And then politics. You never know what the heck is happening behind the scenes. I mean, that includes decisions within shows itself. There is a double exclamation point on that one. Read with that with what you will. So what can you do? You don't feel hopeless. No, because there's stuff that you can do. Like, it's not just, oh, give up because I don't have a box. The first thing is keep being loud. God, we know you're good at it. I'm sorry. Like that wasn't like
There is so much love in that statement.
I promise that wasn't fully negative.
I love Caitlin's Corner.
I know. It's the best. Good comparison.
I told someone to fast forward to Caitlin's Corner the other day.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I want to do a poll on Twitter if people actually want me in the podcast. I'm really curious. I want the third option. I want it to be 1, yes, 2, no, 3, who's Caitlin?
I'll put it up tomorrow, but it doesn't matter what they say.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Watch it on Hulu or the Freeform website and app because they can see those numbers. They won't tell us what they are, but they'll see them. Yeah, the next one was they can see it directly. So go me. And if you watch it live, if you have Hulu plus the live TV, watch it there. Because I didn't look into this fully because, it's been one day and things change so much. But I think they can see what individual programs you watch because it's still Hulu. And just fun fact, Hulu is owned 33% by NBC Universal and 67%, because math, by Disney. It used to be owned 10% by Fox, and then Disney bought Fox.
My God.
And now they control Hulu. But in 2024, Disney can force NBC to sell it, and NBC can force Disney to buy it. I think, I'm pretty sure, I read that. It's a very odd situation. So I think in 2024, Disney's just going to own it straight up. Because, they already have a controlling share of it, so they can make all the decisions.
That's not great.
NBC's just there to collect a paycheck. If they do well. Oh, we're back to ratings, but Freeform ratings. This is when I analyze a bunch of different shows. This is where all the numbers came in. This isn't even the part where I think I went too far.
Because you were like, I did so much math, and you already did a bunch of math before I even got here, so let's do it. In the very, very beginning.
Yeah, a lot of that math was done for me. I did calculate the average amount of TVs, though. Okay, so Motherland ratings, the target demographic of 18 to 49. From season 1, it was 0.1. Season 2, it was 0.06, which is a decrease of 44%. And for season 3 so far, it's an average of 0.03, which is a decrease of 39.73% from the year prior. So I don't feel like doing math right now and like doing the 2% of like how many. Technically it's like 0.07. It's just, whatever. Okay. Anyway, it's not great because we keep losing people. But I decided to look at other TV shows on Freeform. And let's look at Good Trouble first. It is also seeing a similar decline, but it held its numbers longer, and it started with more people in the beginning, but now like it's declining at the same rate. Also, Motherland is more expensive to produce because of the visual effects. Also, the onset effects, because like, did you see that cave?
Mm-hmm.
That cave was freaking cool. Oh, I have a random prediction that doesn't make sense because I didn't explain anything else yet. But Single Drunk Female. It was a pretty good show. But that needs to at least retain its viewers or it's going to be axed next season. Unfortunately. Because it has a 0.03 right now and that's what Motherland has currently. And that was for season 1. Grownish also has the same decline as Motherland, but they had more viewers from the start as well. So they're still like the top rated shows, even though they're declining. But it's hard to like compare Good Trouble and Grownish to Motherland because they had a built-in audience already with the Fosters and Blackish.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. But the bold type, I have to burp. The Bold Type, which is a great show. Yes. I also did a paper on that show in school. They had 5 seasons, which they deserved. They had more viewers and slowly declined. So that is why they got 5 seasons and did not stop after 3. These always sound more intelligent in my head and when I'm writing them than they do in the corner because I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, you're like it's like stupid o'clock.
It's almost 2:30 in the morning. Now, Shadowhunters. That show still trends every freaking day. I don't get it. I mean, no, I like I'm still on season 1, but like those people, they really love that show. Like it got canceled like 3 years ago. I still try. Okay, but anyway, it declined similarly to Motherland, and it also had the visual effects component. Apparently, I wanted to bring up that the post-production costs 3 times more than pre-production. We are very, listen to me, very lucky to get advance notice of the cancellation. Oh, sample budget preview. More numbers. Hold on. Wait, I lost the other book.
There's a second book.
No, there's 4.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, there's 2. This is the only one that really matters because this is the drama series and that more closely relates to. This is a budget for a TV show. This is all the people that they have work on it. But this is from 2003. So I'm just flipping to the back. The total cost to produce one episode of this drama series in Los Angeles for the WB, that is now the CW, is $1.9 million. And that is in 2003 and no visual effects.
Whew.
So you're gonna get distracted. Don't get distracted. Okay. Oh, this is where I think I went too far. I didn't actually write anything down, but like the fact that I actually did this is why I went too far. So I looked into Freeform's financials.
Of course you did.
Well, it's not the first time. I actually had to do it for school before. But it is combined with all of Disney's networks. And it's their Form 10K annual financial report. It's 123 pages long.
Jesus.
It was fun. Freeform doesn't seem to do well with visual effects shows. Shadowhunters and Stitchers and Siren, so especially if the show's name starts with an S, they all got axed after 3 seasons. So, I mean, there is a thing that somebody said, not the usual somebody, but a different somebody that you also know, said that like Freeform likes to do 3 seasons. Those are the only shows that only had 3 seasons. They're all the visual effects shows. Freeform just doesn't do well with visual effects shows. They do better with shows dealing with secrets and semi-adults barely holding it together.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't have any visual effects shows in development. They're all based on secrets and semi-adults barely holding it together. Is that it? Hold on. Because I don't trust my... Oh, I just hit this thing so much. I wanted to definitely make sure that I told you guys that I read my textbook for the first time.
Thank you.
I'm just glad I kept these books. 'Cause I got more to talk about. Not now, but like I have lots of stuff up here that may make it out not sleepy one day, and maybe I'll make sense and I won't just ramble on, and I literally have no idea where my brain is going. Oh frick!
There goes Caitlin's corner.
That means I've been talking for a half hour. Yeah, so I just keep talking, but like there's no word at the end of, like, you know how when you think and it's kind of like linear and you like know your end goal, but like right now I'm just kind of talking and I have no idea what word's gonna come out of my mouth next. So like I don't know, like I can usually like kind of like see my thought process, but I got nothing right now, and I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know.
I can't tell if she's crying or laughing.
Me neither.
I don't know.
I think that means Caitlin's corner has concluded.
No. I need
There's
I just wanted frustrated. If anybody listened to that and you find it interesting and you want to learn more, you have any questions, Theora, do you have any questions? Don't answer that yet. But if you have any questions, just let me know. Happy to share. I'm so tired. Do you have any questions?
Are we allowed to ask now?
Yes.
Well, I guess I don't know if you looked at Hulu. I was just kind of curious, like, does anybody do well with like the visual effects shows?
Hulu does a lot. Wow. Oh my gosh, I just all of a sudden became coherent. I don't know what the hell just happened. Hulu does a lot of miniseries, and their longest show was their longest show was The Handmaid's Tale. Let's finish that statement first and then go to the next thought. But what's it called? The first pretty people kill things.
Not pretty.
Hulu 9 Perfect People. No, that's
Yes.
not what it's called. Hulu 9 Perfect Strangers.
Almost
I
McCarthy
almost
show.
got it. Oh, that's what that is?
Almost
I didn't
McCarthy's
see
in
it.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I thought that I don't know. I don't know. I have to look into it more.
Just kind of curious.
But like, I feel like after all this, like Hulu is the only person that would say that. Like, I mean, Netflix Disney
sucks.
and Netflix have. Yes, but that's not where I was going. Disney in 2019, Disney banned all Netflix advertisements. So they don't have the best relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's Caitlin's Corner.
The jingle! We finally got it.
No, I did it to the Elmo's World theme song. Did it. It's Caitlin's World. I mean, Caitlin's Corner.
That's the next segment where you just take over the podcast.
I'm so tired.
Well, thank you in your delirium for explaining how ratings work, because it is super confusing. So
I mean, I think it is still confusing after me explaining it because it made no sense. I probably should have taken you up on your offer to do it first. But then it's not the right flow. But then I can't be a person at the end.
I understood it perfectly, so
right.
I just feel like it was boring. But I loved doing what I actually went to school for.
It wasn't boring to me. It was interesting. And also I heard someone else speaking about ratings the other day, so it kind of tied into that whole thing.
Yeah.
I've had entire classes about ratings. Multiple.
Yeah.
Like, I know too much.
I don't know if that's possible. But
I mean, it's just my brain hurts.
I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Who got your Big Witch Energy Award?
Okay, so I thought about this tonight because I forgot about it. And I've only watched it 1.5 times. But I think I figured it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to Petra.
Woo! Woo! Yes! I gave it to Petra too.
Me too.
Woo! Yes. Oh, I just hit the mic.
Petra is the fucking answer. She's the title of the episode.
I mean, just with like the pen, like that energy behind the pen was the best. If she would have punched Silver in the face.
Yes, I agreed. That was my favorite kill on the show. Was what she just, and the way she was just so in control the whole fucking time, and doesn't let him know until it's way too late.
It's like he's
it's
so
the calm angry,
unaware.
So good. I love it because his monologue to her is like, "Yeah, I've been playing you this whole time," and then she's like, "I've been playing you this whole minute." Like, how's that feel? It's just
feels like a heart attack.
And then combat Petra at the end with the braids in the uniform.
Yep.
She has all the Big Witch energy. Like, okay, like the Nicta Anacostia stuff was Big Witch energy and super fun, but like Petra has the most in the episode.
Period. What about your Laura Neal?
Man, this one's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not. This the stupid freaking vest that killed Cortez.
Yeah. It was the woman, right? That killed her?
I don't know. I mean, technically, Cortez killed herself.
I mean,
but,
yes.
Well,
but,
I think
like,
it reflected off both their
The
vests.
vest that killed her. Okay, yeah. The vest. I missed that part. Sorry.
Bitch, don't touch my tallies.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Mine was the guy with the stones.
That is also a good one.
He was just kind of a wishy-washy douche.
She's just gross.
He was literally a Nazi in that scene. Like, literally a Nazi in that scene.
And that's literally why I had to give the award to him.
Yeah. Like, I really want to give it to Silver because of all the bullshit he did with Petra, but I feel like we always give it to him. So yeah, I wanted to also give it to the walk it off bitch, like, woman at the border.
Oh my god, yes.
Bree, can you take that again with you not crinkling stuff while you say things?
No.
No, that was it, Caitlin. That was the only time we could say
I have no idea what I said. I think I literally just said, "Oh yes."
Yeah, that was it.
I don't care. Just don't crinkle things.
Editor.
Do it.
Editor faux pas.
I don't.
Next episode. Here
Wait.
you go.
Yes.
I don't know what I wanted to say, but I know I wanted to say something.
You did say something.
You did.
No.
You literally just said the word something.
Something.
Shut up.
That's not something.
No.
Screw
You wish.
That's angry Caitlin hour.
It's actually been an hour.
You said this was going to be an hour. You weren't lying. Okay. Next episode. I know nothing.
I don't know what I wanted to say yet.
We're
You
never
figure
gonna know.
it out at the end of next episode.
Yes, and then interrupt us. Go.
Next episode, Silver wants to make everyone scared. Joy.
Great.
The core four dream of the future. That doesn't sound good in jail, but they're in jail while they're dreaming of the future. Wade and Em are trapped out in a cabin because guess what? The marshal aged a shit ton when they killed the junior marshal.
Oh, shit. I mean, it makes sense, but...
Yes, Caitlin, you have something to say. What is it?
Fuck off with that, man.
I used to raise my hand all the time in conversations. Next episode, I can explain the pants.
Yes.
Yes.
We have so much next episode, so...
But, like, Theora doesn't even know yet, because I didn't
Yes, you
play
did.
the thing. No, you don't know the whole thing.
Oh, not the whole thing. I know part of it.
You don't know the reasoning.
She doesn't? I thought she did.
I think
No.
I do.
No. Well. Huh. Wait, are we still talking about the podcast?
No.
Are we done with the episode?
Yeah, we're
I
done
mean,
with the episode.
But
We
we
didn't
didn't.
sign off.
We didn't sign off. You can't just end it anywhere you like, Bree.
Yeah, you can. It's our podcast.
So
Oh my god. So that was fun,
wait,
guys.
hold on, Theora. So we're just gonna cut everything we just talked about out, and then we're going to cut to, are we still talking about the podcast?
Sure. Yeah. Just
And then we didn't sign off.
All right, let's actually sign off then,
All
I
right.
guess.
We're really
Shall
bad
we?
at this.
Shall we really? I should go to bed.
Yes. We need to tuck Caitlin in so she can get some sleep for her brain. Because she deserves it. She works very hard and crunched all those numbers for us.
I did
And-
nothing.
Yeah, you
The
did.
numbers-
Yes,
came
you
to
did.
me.
Girl,
I
shush.
searched on the Google.
Yeah, but you do a lot of stuff for us every day, all day.
I know you
So
delete
listen.
so many other things. Yes.
My brain feels melty.
Okay.
Well, that's
So-
why you're going to bed.
That's why we're signing off, so Caitlin can go to sleep. So everybody say nighty night, Caitlin.
Good night,
Night.
Caitlin.
And with that, we've been Big Witch Energy. If you like this episode, check out all of our other episodes right here on YouTube. Please like, comment below, and subscribe for more amazing content. Hydrate for Lesbian Jesus.